Honestly, the podcast is going to break up after this, too.
Today we prove that Menace material will tickle a chin.
Because who knows who they're talking about? They're talking about a podcast about podcasts. As you trying to cook, I feel like I'm watching Homeroom. I didn't watch the Club Shay, so I get to hear the little bits. You know what I'm saying?
What's the percentage of media now that is of the industry and what is of the people?
There has to be some level of something. Friends is too much.
The media giant being touched is still a very new concept.
Johnny Depp might not be S, bro.
Johnny Depp got range.
He got range, but I don't know if he S.
Calm down.
That's crazy.
Calm, light-skinned dude from Hustle and Flow.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence
Howard might be a B nigga, man.
He might be a B. Ryan Reynolds is a solid.
He's a curious character,
He
man.
is.
Jim Carrey might have one of the best discographies of all movies, bro.
Okay, you always take it too far.
He's not bad, actually.
And that's why I said him, because there's who think he's good and who think he's trash.
Why is he beating everybody up down there? Play my theme music.
Look, y'all didn't stop being related when y'all became teammates.
But then why is that the narrative instead of just saying this shouldn't be on the team?
When I say no disrespect, disrespect is coming. This is also, I think, the other big thing before the Roy and Maul fans want to crucify us.
If I would have did what you did, would I still have a job?
But if you just want attention, don't talk to none of these niggas. Just make it up.
Come on, AJ, be reasonable now.
Be reasonable.
That's a number, nigga.
I am being reasonable. That's what podcasting is all about. We're coming back next week.
Mama Shay, Mama Sa, Mama Maku Sa people, welcome back to another installment of the Homeroom University podcast. You see, this is the pod about your favorite pod. And I'm your classmate, Tone Guru.
Jay Noblez.
AJ the Menace.
Women on the boards.
Yeah.
Hey, man, right beside him.
That's me.
That's him. We are we.
Yes.
Y'all are here. Like the video, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and comment down below your hashtag office hours. Partner at the end of the show, we get to answer some of y'all questions. You know what I mean? Get to talk to y'all a little bit. There's a couple ways to add your hashtag office hours. You can DM us, you know, if you want your voice heard. Don't make it longer than like 3 minutes. We don't have that much time. Plus, we have a new rule, right? Aren't we like
new rule?
Like on like these videos.
How long?
Yeah.
On how long? Look, just don't make them that long. You'll know. You'll know.
2 minutes.
If you feel
videos
like you're rambling, you probably are.
Exactly.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
So just do that for us. But yeah, man, really appreciate all the love y'all been showing. Keep doing that. $5 Patreon too, and Patreon is getting spicy.
Oh my God.
Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Hit the bell one more time.
Hit the bell one more time. They gonna understand it when they buy it.
God, we got a prize fight coming up for you guys.
Yeah, should we tell them? Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
You know, Menace Material is full of a lot of talented guys. Like, we don't just talk. You know, it's athletics that go around, it's acrobatics. Some of us like throw our fist around, and some of us think that we could do that better than the other dude. Jay Noblez in this corner, AJ the Menace in this corner. It's been, well, how long? 2 weeks? It's been 2 weeks of just.
It's been about 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks of. It's been 2 weeks of tension.
I've had to prove my. Look at that weak ass. Look at that. That's disgusting.
It's been 2 weeks of tension and turmoil. So it's all boiled down to this Sunday, March 23rd.
I'm about to put hands on this nigga.
March 23rd, we got a brawl. It's official. We get it sanctioned.
Honestly, the podcast is gonna break up after this too. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm about to put my paws on this nigga. He ain't gonna be the same after.
Yeah, AJ Stutter's gonna be so much worse.
Yeah.
After he gets touched up, he ain't gonna be able to read no office hours. So get him in now.
I was about to say, man, if you thought this outfit was crazy, man, the outfit he gonna wear after I knock this nigga out, it's gonna be even more insane. But yes, make sure you tune in. $5 Patreon. It's gonna get spicy, man. You know, I believe.
Subscribe to the current page. Tell them what we did. Why are y'all acting like we didn't just do something?
Oh yeah,
we forgot about that.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, talk about it.
Oh, AJ's inner child is excited.
That's that shit I'm talking about. Talk about it.
Today,
that same energy.
Today we prove that Menace material will tickle a chin.
AJ has the strongest punching power.
Shatter.
Not all of us. That's just you, fine sir.
You're right. Last week, you know,
if you
Jay Noble swore he punched harder than me.
Hey, if you want to get your face exfoliated, I try
to tell him as politely as possible. You don't stand a chance. It's not even close. We ordered the machine. Actually, let me take that out. Watch it to find out.
Yep.
Just mark that so I can pull that out.
Yeah, just bleep.
Yeah.
And since we're back, AJ's so excited he can't even contain him. Look, we're gonna see. Look, just tune in, man. It's gonna get spicy next week. We're gonna show y'all, man.
AJ might lose. Anytime AJ gets too confident, I'm like, oh, fuck, this ain't going nowhere.
Come on, man.
That's how you gonna hit him?
Just like that.
I hope he's not down there.
You know what I'm thinking of?
You better not be on your knees.
Search. This is just funny. Search Meatball boxing. You know Meatball, the black chick. She's a Philly comedian.
Which one did she fight?
She was doing this. Okay, I didn't know she actually had a celebrity boxing match. That's hilarious. But I'm not talking about that. Go back. Oh, that's a bitch from the Drewski show too. Actually, when did this happen? This is recent. Do boxing. No, go back. Do boxing skit.
She look like she got hands.
I think it's that second one. Is it that second one? Let me see.
What is she doing? She's fighting somebody for
She's
real?
like, bro, it's just funny. She's like in the street. She's like, see, she like, yeah, see, you didn't even see. Yeah, nigga. It's just funny as fuck.
Yo, that's gonna be so like.
She got plot on her.
There it is, right there. Nigga, this shit is funny as fuck.
Look, you don't know when I'm coming.
Hey, Meatball, you was looking for me, right?
I'm gonna start it off slow. I'm gonna scope the scenery out.
Meatballs and boxing.
You was looking for me December 8th?
Look, now you running around looking all dumb. Look,
December 8th? Knock all that shit the fuck out.
Oh.
got you playing Ring of the Rosie.
Damn.
Of course, this was for.
Oh, are they doing
Shout out
something?
to Gillian Wilder.
Yeah, but that was the sketch. They just cut it up into this.
Lauren
Yeah.
paused it on your future.
We might have to take it off the
I was
screen
about to
too,
just put that up, yeah.
since it's $1 million.
When I just realized what it was.
Yeah.
Those guys
But
don't
yeah,
play.
that skit is funny. I'll try to find it and link it. But
Nah,
I'll
Meatball's
probably
fucking
forget.
there.
But March 23rd, prize fight, Noblez, Menace. Who you got? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, who do y'all got for
Who do
real?
y'all have? That's the most important
That's
question.
honestly the most important question. This
Yeah.
bell just
Should we
doesn't.
tell them the stats of everything? Like, what's your height and your weight? Go ahead.
We gonna do that later. They gonna get a
Okay,
tail of the
you're
tape.
right.
Okay,
We'll do a
okay.
post.
You're right.
Okay,
You're right.
We
You're right.
get a tail of the tape.
We gotta. We'll have FMAC take the picture
Yeah.
Yeah.
before we
Yeah,
leave.
no
Yeah.
foremost.
Take the
So
picture.
so Lauren can
And
have it
I'm
hooked up.
gonna get. Don't worry, we're gonna get it together.
Yeah,
Get all your measurements from me. Send them to me. I'm gonna make the tail of the tape.
I got
No
one of-
inflations.
I'm gonna have that shit.
I got one of those like clothing measuring tapes in the
Yeah.
house. We can do the wingspan and all
Yeah.
that shit.
I'm gonna have y'all niggas set up by tomorrow. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we're gonna have the poster. I got you.
I still love you too, man. I want you to know that.
Nigga, I'm gonna help you up. Of course, like nigga, it's always gonna be that, nigga.
You won't be helping me up. It'll be the other way around.
no.
But
I'm gonna be helping you up,
but
and I'm gonna
I will-
overtalk you because I know you don't know what you're talking about right now. That's what I'm gonna do because
just
I'm your
like,
buddy.
just like the punch
Yeah.
strength. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
I
that's
didn't know what I was
do.
talking about.
That's what I do.
I didn't know what I was talking about. And then
AJ, you don't even know. I'm only having him do this fight so we have more film to put him in other promotions. I have a star in my hands. I just need some evidence for it.
Come on, man.
So, I'm glad that you'll be that first dummy.
yep.
And nah, man, it's gonna be great. Honestly, this might be one of the first things that's actually worth the $5.
This might be worth
We finally did it.
10.
You are fucking.
You just say, did he just,
Pay per view.
this nigga just purred.
Is this a pay-per-view situation?
Oh my god.
This,
Nobody would pay to look at that.
Nah, man, it's gonna be great though. It's gonna be great. Please tune in. Yeah. But
let's jump into the show.
Stephen A. Smith. How
Yeah.
old is this story? About 2 weeks. But we're finally
Yeah.
actually getting him being able to sit down on podcasts. He went to Gil's Arena. He went to his own thing that he be doing at night. But talking about the LeBron controversy. So if you don't know, one time at a Lakers game, I think it was the Lakers playing the Mavericks. Stephen A. Smith had to be in attendance. It's a big game. There's a lot of coverage on that. And LeBron chose this as his opportunity to come up and really be a father. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pulling up on you, nigga.
you talking about my son, I don't really like that. This between us, keep this between us, woo. And apparently, like Stephen A was like, huh? What'd you say? And then like LeBron walked off, so he couldn't really defend himself or whatever. But now he has the opportunity.
It was Lakers Knicks. That's what I thought.
Lakers
Knicks.
Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, because fucking somebody else was playing.
Yeah.
But he finally had his chance to come and tell his side of the story, and this is Gil's Arena where he's doing it. Run this shit, Lauren.
What do you make of LeBron confronting you in the aftermath of that situation?
I thought it was weak. I thought it was some bullshit. But in the moment, I knew that I was listening to a father. Here's what happened. I'm represented by William Morris Endeavor. The founder of William Morris Endeavor, Ari Emanuel, had courtside seats right next to the Lakers bench. He had Larry David with him, star of Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm sitting with them. I get there in the first quarter.
Powerful weights.
I'm sitting courtside, and I stand up, and then I got my head turned. And then I turned back around, and a lot of people thought this was the end of the game or something like that. This was in the third quarter. Apparently, LeBron had walked out of the timeout, and I turned around, and he's right here in my face. He said, yo, you got to stop talking shit about my son. You got to stop fucking with my son. That's my son. That's my son. And I was like, what? He said, nah, fuck that. I said, yo, let's talk later. He's like, fuck that. Nah, fuck that. You got to stop fucking with my son. And I said, all right, though. And he walked off. So I remember during the timeout in the first quarter, seeing Bronny. And Bronny looked over at me, and he had this sad look on his face. And I'm imagining Pop saw that shit and it hit him. And he couldn't hold it, and he rolled up on me. And so when I went on the air the next morning, first things first, believe it or not, I know this is shocking for people to believe, but I didn't have any intentions on talking about it until I woke up that morning and saw that the shit had gone viral. Once the shit had gone viral, the bosses at ESPN, now you got to talk about it. This is you and him. You got to talk about it. I said, fine. So I go on the air and I said, the first thing that I'm going to do is establish that this was a father talking to me, not a player. And that was what threw me off. And I was glad, even though I thought that he misrepresented the argument, I was glad he did. Because you see, what he was really talking about, which was confirmed with his conversation with Richard Jefferson, is that I was talking about him as a father. And so what happens is that had he said that to me, then I wouldn't have been thrown off. I'd have came right back at him. Yes, I was. I was talking about you.
So yeah, this just goes along. Like LeBron and Stephen A are the two big buzz names in it. So it makes the story about them. It's just about media and the NBA specifically overall. They have a weird relationship.
Yeah.
And just the overall conversation of like, what is the line in media and who establishes when it's crossed? Because it's like on Stephen A's end, he's of the belief, and well, from what I've seen too, he's never taken it too far. Like anything he's ever said about Bronny or Bron has been about on the court. He didn't mention like Bronny's white girlfriend at Palm. Like he's not, and there's not little subtle jabs that underlie it. So it's like, Bron, what you really upset about?
Well, LeBron's other girlfriends.
Because at a certain
What do you
point,
make of LeBron?
William Morris.
At a certain point, it's like, I get that this is your son that's being discussed. But nigga, everybody in the NBA got a dad.
Yeah, and we talked about it a little bit like a couple weeks ago, and it was just like, LeBron doesn't respect his son. Like when LeBron was younger, he never pressed anybody like this. He was still mad probably, but he didn't take it to this extent of pressing niggas courtside, you know, just really making a scene. And it just showed his ego. And it's funny because I saw Dwight Howard and Mario Chalmers. I think they were on the pivot talking about just LeBron James.
His ego.
And I believe Dwight Howard, I don't know if it was a joke, but Mario Chalmers was like, yep. Dwight Howard was like, yeah, man, the reason I got kicked off the team was because I told LeBron to like stop being a bitch on defense. To get back on defense. He was like, after that, it was never the same. He was like, nigga, I got traded because of that. And Mario Chalmers, you know, he concurred that statement saying that that same sentiment, that same situation,
where it's
just like you're trying to really control like an ego monster.
You're trying to control. But the only difference I would say in this case, it's his ego, but it comes from a good place. Because like LeBron, since that nigga was like probably 16, has been talked about in the media, good and bad. And
literally,
he didn't have a LeBron as a father to help him through
to defend him,
because that shit had to been stressful as fuck. Like you got all these expectations on you as grown adults talking shit about you and like your professionalism, all that. So I think that he's seeing his son go through it, and he just wants to be the guy that should have been there for him. So I understand where it's coming from, but like that don't make it right.
Good?
It don't make it right.
Because even Ryan Clark, I think, was saying like one of them niggas was talking about their son, and they were like, yo, if that was me doing it to my son would have been tight. He said his son told him after he saw that shit, was like, Dad, I'd be tight if you did that shit. Like, let me handle mine as a man. Like, I'm a young man coming up. Let me handle mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get what you doing, but I'm in the NBA, nigga. Let me handle mine. Like, let me find my way, nigga.
I think it was perfect. Timing and everything.
For LeBron to do that?
For LeBron to do that, because just like he said, I'm around powerful, rich white folks. I'm going to treat you like a nigga in front of these powerful, rich white folks on the day they announce you got $100 million deal signed. I'm crashing this entire parade.
I think it more.
And I'm doing it in the middle of the game to where I'm not forced to stick around. The timeout's over. I got to go back.
It was all that because I think it had more so to do with LeBron's confidence and how good the Lakers was looking at the time. Like they had a lot of.
Oh, they were up.
Yeah. It wasn't. I forgot like what their exact record was, but like him and Luka had started hooping, and it was
They were
just
doing
looking
great.
good.
They were the second seed.
Shannon Sharp went on ESPN and was like, "Nigga, we got a chance."
Yeah, we got
Like
a
it was a
chance.
lot of that talk going on. So LeBron, he definitely chose the perfect moment to get that shit off. But the NBA and the media don't understand each other. They hate each other.
We can
but
say that.
also
We can say
need
that
each
about
other.
the media and the rappers and the musicians. It's the same problem.
We can say that about
Media
critiques.
and all people.
People that
Like, you know what I'm saying?
nobody
Them
likes
nigg-
to be critiqued for the most part.
No, people despise it.
So, and it's like, I guess there's supposed to be a certain just a little bit of animosity towards each other, but it should
Low
never,
level,
it
yeah.
should never get to a point that, like you said, I think Stephen A hits. You know what I mean? I don't think he ever gets that disrespectful. It should never hit the point that LeBron thinks Stephen A, hit in terms of like level of
Hit like
just
physically
being
hit him?
like in terms of being disrespectful and like what he said towards his son, like because we did the research on LOY, we didn't find anything that Stephen A said.
He's never said anything personally,
like
bad
never
about him.
too disparaging.
It's just about the game.
Well,
It's
I was
always
watching-
about how LeBron put his son on a pedestal just to be knocked off. It was a pedestal
I was
made of
watching
Legos.
Draymond talk about it, and because he brought it up just the other day about why he ended up like distancing himself, because Stephen A brought up Draymond and that whole
who?
shit from Stephen A.
Okay.
How Draymond distanced himself from Stephen A. Because of he said it was you're telling dad you were telling him how to be a father. It wasn't the aspect of the basketball game. He was like saying, as a dad, that's a bad move. Or
And he
this or
just
that.
doubled down on it,
And he
too.
doubled down on that.
Just now on 𝙿𝙻𝙰𝚃 Arena.
Yeah, it was like that was the thing. And when I heard that perspective, I was like, okay, that's a little more fair. I didn't hear it that directly first time. That's a little more fair. But
What did he tell him how to be a father?
he was like, he was just like, as a dad, you don't do this. And then they were like, nigga, like
Right.
as a dad, what do you mean? That's not basketball now. Like we're not talking about basketball
Right,
anymore.
right.
So that's what they
But
were
what
trying
did
to
he
say.
say as a dad? Like what was the statement?
The whole Bronny thing, like setting him up for all the eyes and all
Setting
the,
him up for eyes and failure.
and
And
yeah,
shit.
like setting him up for failure and shit like that.
Or
Like,
setting him up for a position that he's not ready for.
yeah, like a type of position.
Nobody said anything when he said a similar thing to LeVar Ball, who also put a
LeVar
lot of
Ball?
unrealistic expectation on his NBA.
He didn't say.
kids.
Did he say anything about a dad? I think he
Nah.
championed him as a good father. I think.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
after, but you got to understand, like when
And
when
LeVar-
LeVar first hit and he was going on ESPN saying I could beat Michael Jordan 1-on-1, like everybody treated him like a crazy person.
But who did
Well,
LeVar,
that was a
but
joke
who-
too.
but who
Everybody
did-
treated him like
yeah.
a joke.
But who did LeVar not get? Who did he not check that said something about his parenting skills? I feel like he's checked everybody.
I don't think anybody said anything about his parenting skills.
Yeah, nobody
That's what I'm
said
saying, but if
anything
they-
necessarily about
But I
LeVar's
think
parenting
if they
skills.
would, but I
they
feel
was
like-
the conversation.
like he's checked all of them.
The conversation would be like you're a father that's setting your kid up to get targeted.
Yeah, and regardless of whether they said anything about LeVar, you're saying that?
No, I'm saying Stephen A. said this to LeVar, and it's not necessarily about his parenting, but it is around his parenting. I think it's a similar sentiment what he's saying to Bron right now.
It is. He just doubled down.
That's
on
the
it.
that's the problem. That's
And
what
I
they're
don't
saying.
think I don't think that that's.
And which angle
I
did
don't think
LeVar
that that's
take?
that personally bad.
As the
But
father
to
of
be
your
fair,
child, you
we're
can take
also
that.
not fathers.
Yeah.
None of us in this room.
As the
are
father of your
fathers.
child, I can see that perspective.
We
Where it's
are-
like, don't tell me how to father my child.
But I could see that for
Like
sure.
you don't even know this
Yeah, I
nigga.
could
Like
see
you don't
that
even
for
know
sure.
what makes him tick like I do. You don't know none of this shit. Like
You
don't tell me how to father my
but
son.
you wouldn't stop and think why he's saying that?
What do you mean? No, it's my
A
son.
nigga you
wouldn't
don't
try to
know,
be a little
a
reasonable?
nigga you don't know
No.
just out of the blue with a big voice says he's not
it-
raising his son right.
I'm not thinking about
He
that.
didn't say that.
He didn't tell
That's completely different because
No,
that
it is
has a
completely
lot
different.
more disrespect to
But
it.
that's
It
what he
is,
heard.
But that's what everything that. But when
That's what
you're
it
the
centered
father,
around.
you hear in the disrespect.
Well, if
like-
you are, if
You got to
respond
stop and be a
emotionally
little.
to it.
You got to be
If
a
you
little
respond
reasonable.
emotionally to it, yeah.
But do you think?
I don't think it's you respond emotionally to it. The fact that you're commenting on my parenting skills. Period.
Yeah.
we have crossed into disrespect.
so. That's
It's
the
not
boundary.
about, but it's not about
Yeah.
how he raised Bronny.
no longer
It has
basketball.
no-
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with his parenting skills. It has,
But that's what he
something
said,
to do.
That
with,
is what he said though.
No, he is a parent, but it has
But-
to do with his decision making skills on
His
where he
parenting
chose
skills.
to lead Bronny in terms of like his career.
Right, which is his parenting skills.
But it's not like he's a bad parent. He's actually
Yeah, it's not
Nope.
about how he raised Bronny. It's about
he didn't frame it that way. He said he's not doing this correctly.
Because he could do the same thing with a new rookie teammate. He could have put the same hype on that nigga, and it could be the same conversation of like, dog, Why are you doing that today?
I think this was the clip again. Like, we can try to hear what he said again. I think this was it.
I'm really,
Watch it be
really trying to be as respectful as I possibly can be towards LeBron James.
Which means we're already
I am
disrespect.
pleading
No.
with LeBron James
Let's keep listening.
as a father. Stop this. Stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad. The first game of the season, opening night, the Griffey's in attendance, father-son duo playing in an NBA game for the first time, an absolutely positively wonderful story. And then reality sets in. We love what we're seeing from him in the G League because that's where you belong. As you hone your skills and you get better and you legitimately earn, which I believe he has the potential to do. I am rooting for Bronny James. It would be cruel to root against him. He's a wonderful kid. I wish him nothing but the best. But he's LeBron James' son. And everybody knows what attention that brings. Molly, Doggy, put them up on the screen because I want to see their face when I say this. Right now, Bronny James is averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds. You know what people are saying. You know what they're going to do to this kid. You know what these numbers mean.
His face is
You
crazy.
know what it's going to do to your son, to people who are missing out on opportunities, that are busting their tail on other NBA teams in the G League, in Europe, and everywhere else, what kind of opportunity they're starving for. You're exposing your son like this? I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any way. I'm simply saying to have that moment on game one of the NBA season is one thing. To propel it to a point where he's on the bench, he's in uniform, he's taking up a roster spot, and now you're giving him time in the first quarter, and you see the absence of production. How are you helping him?
This isn't bad.
I just don't get.
He never came
This
at them
isn't
like
bad.
that, dog.
At the
LeBron owes Stephen A. an apology. And a thank you.
And a bouquet of
because
flowers,
You gotta
nigga.
understand what's happening now is like some emperor's new dress or whatever the fuck it's
I
called.
think he should smack that.
Because if you can't be
because
honest,
you gotta understand that like he's asking everybody to accept his imaginary friends. He wants us to be a part of his schizophrenia and just ignore the fact that this is all just a charade, dog. This is all a marketing, not all a marketing
Talking
employee.
about LeBron wants to ignore all that.
LeBron and Bronny being on the Lakers.
Yeah.
Like this is just
It just looks good. It sells great.
and it's not real.
Yeah.
And he's asking everybody to act like it's real. And they're actually trying.
It's like the show
because
business
he's trying
in
to
sports.
sell a story, which is it's a great story
It's the
if he
show
was just
business in sports.
naturally gonna be as good as LeBron said.
Because
you know what I mean?
The end of this should have been, this is bullshit. And like that's what every reporter should say, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
But they're actually taking it serious, and niggas still have the nerve to be upset about it. Now, I think a lot of times what happens is like the biggest voice in media takes on all the worst takes. So it's like, it's shit that Stephen A. didn't even do that he's taking shots for because he is media and he's the bigger person in media. But there's a bunch of niggas who probably say the actual foul shit.
Oh, yeah.
That he's really
For
upset
sure.
about.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of times, dog,
YouTubers with
nigga,
3,000 views.
the commenters on these media shits are who really be hurting niggas' feelings.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like it's the
People,
flurry.
there are journalists who report things and put it out, but it's the niggas that go in the comments and really
Yeah.
start roasting you to where it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
now my feelings are hurt.
Where's
Yeah.
Vile? Yeah.
Yeah.
But they just put all of that in one basket. Media sucks.
Yeah.
That's true. To an extent.
But
I'm pleading with you as a father. Why would you expose your son to this?
That's not what he said. He said your son's
He
getting
said that.
exposed.
Yeah.
No, not why would you expose your son to this? Your son's getting exposed.
Which, once I hear you're pleading to me as a father, you're commenting on my parenting skills. And I
He
don't
also
give a
said
fuck."
respectfully, but the reason why he said that,
and when I say no disrespect is coming.
the reason why he has to say that because it's like he has a son, so
Why would he have to say that, though?
He understands what it's like to want greatness for his son, and he's imagining himself in LeBron's situation. Like, my son can play. Like, yeah, of course you're gonna think highly of your son. You're the king.
That's more
It's
disrespectful.
my seed, but also it's like that's just. It's just not like real. Like, LeBron's just kind of crazy.
And you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like, is he your teammate or is he your son? So, like, can I call you his father? Are you like, what is?
He doesn't respect Bronny as, like, he love him as a son, but he don't respect him as a man.
What you talking about, LeBron?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that.
I think
he's picking fights for him.
We're the
if
media.
your father, if you was in a situation and your father stepped into it, something that you could handle, you knew you could handle, and your father stepped into it, would you feel like a certain type of?
I would feel a certain type of way.
It's a little
just
different.
just a little bit.
I will say, yeah, maybe a little bit, but
And
I would also say it's different because Bronny stepped into his father's world where he's the king of this world. So my father checking shit where I'm the king of this world doesn't seem weird. But if Bronny had a bully at school and LeBron James like walked him to the bus stop and got on the bus and talked to the kid, yeah, that's a little bit different.
That's better. That's actual parent. Like, that's like some real father shit because, you know, I'm assuming you mean like a little Bronny.
Actual parenting is telling Bronny and what's another nigga's Bryce? Whoop that nigga's ass first thing you see him tomorrow.
Which is why
rich kids.
Which is why he doesn't respect him as a man because he tried to defend him during the fucking third quarter. You get what I mean? When Stephen A. said he was just looking over there.
This is getting disrespectful saying that LeBron doesn't respect his son.
He woke. I said
that's what he said.
He walked up.
That feels disrespectful.
Hey,
more disrespectful than what Stephen A. said.
I understand why you're saying that.
But hey, I'm only pulling from other media heads. Stephen A. said he
Pull
was
from yourself.
He said he was over there. I mean, okay. Said he was over there looking sad. Why are you over there looking sad? Your father defended you. Why have your head down? Stephen A. said that.
Well, that was before.
He came.
Yeah, I think he said that LeBron
that was before it happened.
Bronny saw Stephen A. scared, and then LeBron saw that and was like, "Dad mode."
He thinks that's what did it to him.
Right.
Yeah,
Even
but
then,
I do understand the angle on LeBron's side now, especially after hearing Draymond say it, because as a media person, they always take stances that almost toe the line, but then use semantics. I won't say semantics, but use certain things to be like, "Hey, I was specifically talking about this. I'm only talking about basketball." So if you always say, "I'm only talking about basketball," anything you say outside of the line of basketball, as an athlete or as a father, anything, I should be able to say, you can only talk about basketball. I don't care what you meant, where you're going in. Don't bring this side of it in.
100% fair. Now, where did he not talk about basketball?
He said, as a father, I'm pleading with you. That's enough. To set up my whole premise that way, like, that's enough. That's enough for me to say, all right, you're taking it off the beaten path.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's enough.
Yes.
Because it's like, I'm about to go this way. I'm going to go here. This is what I'm leading in with. And then let me start talking about the shit I want to talk about. Like,
no,
but what did he start talking about after you said that?
Lauren, you don't understand communication. What that is, he's leveling with him. He's putting himself.
But what are you doing that as basketball? That's not basketball.
No, he's putting himself on the same level as another individual. Right. So if the person
not in
hears
the context
it,
of basketball.
Hold on, communication master. So if the person hears it, he can listen with like open ears.
Listen though, he's putting himself on the same level as a father. I'm a father too. As a father, I'm pleading with you. Like, it's like, what are we talking about? We're not talking about the game. Don't plead with me about shit. You don't know my life. You don't want something about the game. I'm just saying. Look, okay. I understand. I'm saying that I see where from the side of the person being talked about.
Okay.
I see where that can come off as disrespect and me not fuck with you now because of the way you're intervening in my family dynamic. When you really should just be talking about sports.
Okay, so you shouldn't call him Bronny's father. You should just say your teammate.
That's not that.
You should refer You should forget that they're family.
He didn't say that's Bronny's father. You said, hey, as a father, I'm pleading with you about this.
No, don't say pity. Do you know what it means to plead with somebody?
Yeah.
You get on your knees.
So why are we acting like there's underhand disrespect?
Because why are you pleading with me as a father about it? Why are you doing that? Why?
All we're talking is sports.
Yeah, why are you doing that?
Why not? There's son's on your team.
If you're gonna talk shit about the game,
you brought your son to the Lakers.
Okay, then just say, look,
y'all didn't stop being related when y'all became teammates.
But then why is that the narrative instead of just saying this nigga shouldn't be on the team?
Because you pressed me and you came up to me and said, I'm a father.
You said that before, though. That's after.
That was also LeBron's whole point of having Bronny on the team. Is like, he's my son and he's also great.
Right. So if he's not good, then just say he's not good. Then like don't Don't
Right.
That's just say he's not good. It's okay to
Right,
just talk
that's
shit
it.
about him as basketball.
literally shit
That's
on his
that.
numbers.
Hold on, but before Bronny was in the league, and you know we're gonna get through this eventually. But before Bronny was in the league, he was building up. He was building him up to be that guy.
No, he was.
Like way
better-
before he was in the
said
league.
he was better than some of these niggas
But here's
I'm
the-
watching on League Pass right now.
Which is Luka,
Everybody on League Pass got a roster
Can I say
spot.
something? I agree. I agree with the fact that like even last episode when we talked about it, I was more along the stance of like LeBron did that in the wrong moment to me. I don't think it was necessary to do that in that
You
moment.
did say that?
I still think that. But I do see the perspective now from where that could be not basketball. You know what I'm saying?
respect that.
That's what I'm saying. So
But-
like I understand that perspective. I
ask you
do
something.
also agree that LeBron did too much in what he was talking about Bronny beforehand.
Can I ask you
and
something?
set him up for the okie doke. You know what I'm saying?
would
I do believe that.
do? I understand that you respect like how LeBron got to that point.
Yeah,
but
I just
what
think it
would-
was a
like.
What would I
What
do?
would you do if you made these mistakes? Because
Yeah.
Lauren, I don't think
I wouldn't have done
I
that.
don't think that you would have
I
did
wouldn't
that
have done
to
that.
your son. I
I
don't think
wouldn't-
you would have did what Bron did.
No,
Not in
I wouldn't
terms of
have.
He wouldn't be there,
defending
but
him,
we're saying
In
what
that
would
terms
you
of
do if we were
hyping
there
him up
already?
to that level.
If I was LeBron, I would not have approached in the third quarter to do that. I'd
in
have had a
that
conversation
way.
separate. Yeah, I'd have done that. That's
Which
different.
is really we didn't.
I wouldn't
we
have done that
getting
way.
into it
No,
now.
I would depend.
We're avoiding
How devious
because
should be.
that is
I
optics.
also know you just signed $100 million and you with these powerful white
I get it.
men.
I get the dynamic.
I might want to treat you like a
Yeah.
nigga in front of them.
And what did those powerful
You know
white
what I'm saying?
men?
Like
get
in
it.
terms of
And
But
what
that
did
could
those
bounce
powerful
back.
white men do?
Davis.
They told him to
Smart.
talk about it the next morning.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like, nigga, you have
That's
to
what I say.
talk
It might
about
bounce
this.
back a little bit. It might not. It doesn't necessarily. It's not necessarily a power play because it's too out of
Welcome
your
to the big
character.
leagues, nigga.
Do
It's
y'all
too out of
think-
Bron
dynamic.
this is stupid.
Do y'all think Stephen A. is going to get more ignorant than what he has been in terms of y'all eyes because of this like money?
more ignorant. No,
Like
I don't
more-
think so. Like now that he signed $100 million,
Yeah,
you think
like
he'll be out
you-
of control.
Yeah, just
I don't think so.
Wild boy.
I'm pretty sure it'll be the same.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same.
Yeah, I don't see it. He's had money for it. He
Yeah,
ain't been broke. This is
yeah.
just a big
Yeah,
moment.
it's just
A new
bonus.
big one, but it's
Yeah.
not his first big one.
Yeah, this ain't his first big
He's
one.
on
It's
private
just-
jets now.
It's just the biggest that he's had.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure he's had headlines that were signed to 40, 30. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it ain't his first time.
and he deserves it.
Now your first 20 or 30, yeah, niggas might. That's when we can probably expect the most change from them. Their first couple million.
Damn, can you imagine just
That's
spending
probably
like
the first change.
a crazy amount of money on like 1 week, like a crazy amount, and just realize it didn't really dent shit,
Yeah.
and be like, God damn.
But I think that's what rich niggas say. They say like once you
I'll buy
pass
some
20
Jason
million,
Tatum
it's like
shoes if I had
the
that much
lifestyle
money.
you're living at 20 million is not too much different from the 100 million nigga.
right.
Yeah.
It's like you can do essentially
They just
everything.
have two more of what you have.
Yeah, maybe two more of what you had. They can do it more often. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
but
right.
like, yeah, you can do all the same things that these niggas are doing.
Yeah.
You know, or you might not own it. Like you might not own the yacht, but you can rent the
fuck
yacht.
it. You can die
but,
anyway.
But you can rent the yacht out for 4 months and not feel like you took an L on it.
Exactly.
So,
Which is the same thing if you're rich.
which is the same thing because you only riding it 4 times a year anyway,
Fuck
or
it.
for a month out of the year anyway. So
Go to Catalina in my
Yeah, I
boat.
just need to have enough to where if I have an HVAC problem and I drop 10 bands, it don't feel like shit.
nothing.
Yeah.
Just a little electrical issue.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
I want to add an extra house attached to my house. I saw that when I was working one day.
Oh, they
This
got a lot of
motherfucker was
those.
getting, he cut his house in half and like redesigned
back
it.
door, yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
So it had a whole hits had his own entrance and everything,
Yeah,
right?
nah.
Yeah.
They got bored.
Niggas do be doing that or building little mini houses in the backyard and renting
Yeah.
them out and having
yeah?
them the
Airbnbs
one half
and shit?
addresses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
told
what
you
that
about,
is.
Valentine's Day story.
I wish, I don't know, who do we think is going to have kids first out of the group here so that we can revisit this later? Might be a couple years, but we'll bring this back.
Noblez.
When niggas have kids, probably
Nah,
Noblez.
it's gonna be Lauren. Lauren is the most set up for that.
But he's young. I think the slip up might happen.
Slip up, yeah.
Nah.
My slip up days are over. it's planned.
That's the thing. I rarely slip up, and when I do, it's like it doesn't even. Come on,
Pop a
man.
pill.
Come on, man. Nigga, I'ma always have $60.
$60.
Here you go, bitch. Pow. Love you. But but nah, I think honestly, Lauren, AJ possibly, but I think when AJ finds his girl, it's gonna happen faster. You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna
Well, it'll be less time too.
yeah.
Because Lauren was with his girl for longer.
Oh,
So yeah.
I think you will have like
So as soon as I find her, boom, baby, cooking
a
it
year
up.
and a half.
Cooking.
Because you've been a party
done it-
boy for so long.
I've done
you,
it all.
You know how to
I know when I-
differentiate.
Caught everything. You
Caught everything I could catch.
hands are full.
Oh my goodness.
All right, shit. Actually, that does kind of like lead into. It doesn't lead into it, but this is just a whole separate question or conversation. Is what should the relationship between media and the people that they're commenting on even be? Is there an actual level of respect? Okay, let me not use the word level of respect. Is there an actual real relationship that can be formed? Especially if we're talking about somebody, a reporter or a media personality who's keeping it objective, or are you sacrificing? The more friendly you are with the people that you're speaking on, you're sacrificing your objectivity. And the more objective you are, the less willing, or just in human nature wise, just the less willing and less likely it is for the people you're speaking on to be like, I fuck with this nigga heavy still. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to answer all of those questions, AJ.
Shoot.
It was kind of a lot. But I don't think there has to be no relationship necessarily. But I do think whoever the critiquer is has to have an understanding of whatever game they're watching.
Or analysis.
Analysis.
I'm putting it all together.
Okay.
Just me.
They have to have an understanding of the game that they're watching. You know what I mean? More so than a relationship between the people. I don't think the relationship matters. You don't have to be friends with a motherfucker, or really be close. And it, like you said, it makes it better because that's a lot of times these NBA analysts, they run into these problems where they know these guys. They're cool guys, like their family. They're like Jalen Brunson. How can you talk bad about Jalen Brunson? But if he's doing bad, you got to do your job, and sometimes that kind of gets in the way of like
the real life,
the job at hand.
Yeah,
so it can get tricky, but
they don't know him that. Like, the thing is, I think there has to be some level of something. Friends is too much.
I'd agree with that.
That's when your emotions and like feelings get involved.
For sure.
But there has to be some kind of communication between the two.
Has to?
Yeah. Because otherwise, and I'm not saying that like
I know what you mean.
I'm not saying that like everybody that you cover, you have to speak to.
Right.
But you need to have the ear of somebody in the industry.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing media and you're doing coverage, like having that intel is gold.
It's paramount.
Gold.
Oh, for sure.
And I don't think that being friends and getting information are two different things.
Doesn't necessarily mean that you have the information on what's going on in the industry.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
but
right.
like, there has to be some level of connection because it's like otherwise niggas just over there talking and it's like they can see it, but seeing it is one thing and knowing what's happening on a certain level is a whole other thing.
Right.
And having both is what the media needs. So it's like
naturally the closer you get,
no
the better
friends, but a working kind of, you know. All right, what do you think happened?
Yeah, because if we even
and then
looking,
I take that information and I do with it what I can.
Because if we look at somebody like Jason Lee, I'm looking on the gossip side of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
He will get the gossip directly from very like specific sources.
Yeah.
Like Cardi B is gonna give him, it's direct as fuck. But then other ones, it's people that he has on payroll as internships
Some hoe on a track.
at a house party that just is like
ran into him.
Yeah, ran into it. And I do work with Jason Lee. He told me if I find anything, get as much information as I can and
that's
bring it back.
Tasha K's whole game.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. So it's like there's multiple ways of you're not gonna have it with everybody.
You can't.
It's impossible. Just human nature wise.
Because everybody has different levels of boundaries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some people care more than others. Like I'm pretty sure Orlando Brown's care of what is said about him is just very low.
It's
He
I
don't
think
give
it's
a
zero.
fuck.
Essentially,
Like he's trying to make shit happen.
Yeah, he probably says worse stuff about himself in his head.
Yeah,
but a person like Cardi B, I forgot the whole situation with Tasha K. Do you remember what happened? Did she say she was a hoe?
She lost a court case. She said she lost in. She also said she had an STD. I think.
Yeah, she tried to say she had
STD.
something.
It was an STD, which is very bad, and you should sue.
Yeah.
But she also cared a lot because it's like, bitch saying I got an STD, fuck her.
But Tasha K was talking. You know what I
Tasha
mean?
K, but she
It
also
got to
talks
the-
about everybody.
That don't
You
make it
know,
right.
and not
Don't make it
everybody,
legal.
not
Don't make it
everybody
right
chose
or
to sue.
legal,
But
It definitely didn't make it legal.
Yeah,
not,
make it legal.
yeah, of course, but not everybody chose to sue. But you know, it just all depends.
I feel like it got personal between them two though.
It definitely did.
Of course.
Like, it
That's a
became,
whole-
something.
that's a whole
other
saga.
shit. Like I don't think Cardi cares about motherfuckers saying that her pussy might be hot.
Nah, but to your
But
point though,
her saying it was different.
But the relationship, my bad, Lauren.
I was gonna say to his point, I do believe that naturally it does get better. Like media gets better the closer you are to the said thing that you're covering. Like you being closer to what's happening behind the scenes should naturally give you more intel, more insight, more available positions to speak from.
And do you believe
too
that
close exists though?
You got
Too close exists. Absolutely.
Do you think that
it's good to
I'm
be
trying to figure out what the best way to go about it is, by frolicking with the peers or just being a part of it? So whether if you're a business, if you're let's say if you are a artist, a rap artist, collaborations could be one thing, but say you don't get collabs and you're J. Cole'ing out here.
Yeah.
You're doing fine, you're doing really well, but you don't need a collaboration for that shit to go. But you have a full understanding of how the music industry works. I have successful records. I'm doing partnerships left and right and shit like that.
That gives you shit too.
I don't need, do you even need the human at that point? You know what I'm saying? Well, there's humans involved in it, but it's not the ones that we see on TV. It's not Quavo.
Because you're direct to consumer?
Because you're
doing it.
Because you're business to business.
Yeah, and you're business, you're doing it.
And then you could you still comment on people the same level of knowledge and shit like that?
Or levels above you?
Even though nobody fucks with me in the industry.
Yeah.
But they fuck with me in the industry.
You can.
Business.
Yeah, you can. I think that's
Absolutely.
is that Russ's? No,
that
that's
would be
not
Russ.
really.
I would say
Is that
no.
Russ?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, for sure.
Let's just fucking use them.
At least
Semantics.
now. At least
the best
now.
example.
Definitely back in the day. Less now because he's definitely friends with people doing collabs. But when he came
first
in,
started,
first it was just him and numbers. That's it.
Yeah,
Well, he did it. Yeah, like
and you can, and it's like it. I guess it's the same amongst all forms of like career and media. I guess it's the same. I mean,
it's like there's part of it that comes from, especially media, where it's like, yeah, I'm talking my shit. I may not know whatever, but I'm doing the craft, and with doing the craft, certain things come from it. So I know how this shit go, and when I know how this shit go, I get to speak on the shit a little more. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how this shit go.
Right. Because I've been in there doing it.
Yeah, exactly. As far as like the best way of going about getting the
And
information.
it may not be on this quote unquote level, but I'm doing this shit, so I get to understand because I understand the game now.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things that are on a major level, it's the same thing on a smaller level. It's just the scale is smaller. It's literally the same fundamentals on a smaller scale, but on the larger, it's just 10,000 people to 10 million.
Exactly.
But the same thing.
High school, college, same shit.
Same shit, same classes, same structure, same all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because when you had asked the question, you mean that in the sense.
I was trying to almost figure out in my mind, in me asking the question, I was always trying to figure out which one is more valuable. Would it be?
I think it depends on your goal.
Gotcha.
I think because if you want to be like real, like true media, I just want information to get it out there. Then you shouldn't have friends or enemies anywhere in the business.
Right.
Like you should just be able to like be respected by everybody enough to where you can get that side, be able to tell it. But
because you're objectively giving the truth.
But if you just want attention, don't talk to none of these niggas. Just make it up.
And that's just.
Oh wait, no, we're not. I don't think that was the opposite. That I was what?
In terms of media and like what's your goal in media? Like if you're trying to tell the truth of the story, then what we said, but what I was saying before applies. But if you just want attention, you don't have to talk to them niggas. And that's why I'm saying it depends on what your goal is in media.
I get what you're saying.
Huh?
The F might get locked out.
I think his dumb ass locked this up.
He might have.
Well, we'll see.
He got a punch harder.
He better knock harder. Yeah. But yes, and that's the thing with media. How many people go on that just I want to do good media side? Is that what you were talking? Like just getting the media
just
out?
Like just to like
that
tell
could be
the
bad
story
too,
and
right?
Facts.
Yeah, because
that could be bad.
What I was thinking when you were saying that, not bad,
like
but
that could be Jason Lee in terms of like nigga, he's about to just
I did just
break
get the story. And so long story short, if you're saying somebody who just like wants the story, the truth, and all that shit.
From the media end, like
from the media end,
like I don't care about getting the most attention from the story because media is a game, and like if it bleeds, it leads. Like if you want to just get facts out, that's different than like if I want to really make money trying to get attention with news.
But it goes both ways.
No, not lying,
or
but
making shit up. That is not the.
I was being hyperbolic, but like in speculating, not having intel information.
Yeah,
because
I don't even think that's it. I think you can have the right information, just put the wrong information out too. You know what I'm saying? Or like.
But that's
or
the
you
thing.
can have the right information and put out the selective part that you want to form your own narrative that'll make the situation hyperbolic, but it's still all factual things that you've heard.
What is?
I'm just leaving parts of it out. You know, what
like
I'm saying?
on LOY, we're not trying. Like we want to know what happened, but we're not trying to like report the facts of things. We're trying to have fun with it. You know, and we're still media. You get what I'm saying? But we're not we're not like, yo, this is what happened with the news, and that's why I'm saying it depends on your approach.
We just say like the important things, never like the small intricate details.
Yeah, because media is entertainment and it can be news, and especially now there's a lot of both. But when we say media, we're kind of talking about both, and that's all I was just saying it's different for what you want to get out of it.
I do think it goes both ways because like really telling it all will get you the attention. Because what is academics?
But
which side is he?
People will like you less when you're being honest and you end up on the negative side. Like, even though you can say I was fair, but I feel like you're shitting on me because I did some fuck shit.
Nobody wants you to
and
tell
I
the
posted and you posted it fairly. So it's like, that's not gonna automatically have everybody respect you.
No, that sometimes make them hate you more.
It make them hate you more is where I'm leaning more towards because
a lot of people won't honestly say this because of how
right,
it will make it sound.
Because always speaking the fact, normally there's gonna be like a better or worse side. You know what I'm saying? And whoever ends up on the worst side is normally the person who's not gonna like you. And in somebody's entire career span, like however long that might be, whether it be 3 years, 10 years, or 20 years, you're not gonna be 9 times out of 10 always on the good side. So everybody's gonna have their day or their moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everybody
might
reaches
not
a
respect
point
you on that day that my moment is today. You know
everybody
what I mean?
reaches a moment where it's like, oh, I can say what I want now. You know what I mean? Like when Charlamagne was understudy for Wendy Williams, he couldn't say shit. It's like, nigga, get my coffee, like just shut up and do what you're told. And so eventually he got to a point where it was obviously when Breakfast Club like got popular and shit, but where he probably just felt like I can say a little bit more than the truth. Like I could just bump it up a little bit. I could just.
Well, that's how he always been. That's what his job was on Wendy Williams. He used to just like be the wild nigga. That was her wild sidekick.
Yeah, but it was.
I get what you're kind of saying. The only
he was like the
that
donkey.
Kind of hurts that is because he definitely had a different role on Wendy. Like the roles were very different between Wendy and Breakfast Club. You know what I mean? It was definitely
in the second seat.
He was in the second seat, and it was like second. You know what I mean? Like
he was the second
type shit. You know what I mean? But on Breakfast Club, it's A. You know, or it's technically Envy is A, but it's like A and B. You know what I'm saying?
I guess what's the percentage of media now that is of the industry and what is of the people?
Most of the industry. What percentage?
Like if you just had to guess.
We're only sticking with black media because I don't know enough white media, obviously.
Yeah. Not fucking, but like, share, subscribe.
What percentage is of the industry?
What percentage is of the industry and what percentage is of 90, the people? And 10. The people being,
90-10, maybe 95-5.
90-10?
90-10, 95-5, somewhere in that range.
I think it's that. Where does academics fall?
I would say 80% of the time.
Is he the Kung Fu Panda?
I would say 80% of the time he falls on of the people. And then specific topics, we know this is about to be biased city. So it's like, I would say 80% of the time he lands on the side of it's just what the fucking facts are and what I know of the facts.
Yeah.
And then if Drake comes up or Kendrick comes up, we already know we're fucking with the 10% at this point. Or the 90%, where it's like, nigga, 20%.
Yeah.
Nigga, anything can happen. And it probably won't be it probably won't be objective, So yeah. But I would say 90-10.
What do you think, Noblez?
I don't know, man. I have a lot more faith. Maybe 80-20.
Just throw a number out at least.
80-20.
80-20?
I have a lot more faith.
And you're saying 80% of the people or of the industry?
Of the industry.
Of all media today? Now, I don't know.
I think we're just sticking
to
to black media just because I don't
question.
know a lot of...
because
enough white media.
Yeah, like...
Let's talk about all the people that we talk about. Let's just keep it there. Just to make our lives easier.
I think majority of the industry now is for the people because majority of these niggas who are in media now don't have the connections to like talk to big niggas. You know what I mean?
Talking about like YouTube creators?
At a certain level, because like there's a certain level to where like you content that, you can get in contact with anybody. And that's what's also making this like a weird...
I don't know if that's true though, because it's like even like 𝙗, when he reviews music, then his first listen to Playboy Cardi, it was a 10 out of 10. It was damn near that. Like, come on, dog.
Yeah,
His opinion on music is not like respected at all because he's unfortunately, like we said, friends with these niggas, and you can only be so truthful with your friends. Yeah, especially when it comes to something as precious as art. You know, you don't want to just shit on nigga art.
What would you consider
that's
a
what
nigga
I'm
like?
saying. Like only like Constant and there's a couple other niggas
even with
that
like
stream.
𝙭, shout out to 𝙭 and 𝙭. I used to fuck with them heavy. They used to get paid like academics to react to songs and shit.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? They still, I believe they still do.
Yeah.
A lot of the music.
I'm sure they do because they're still huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just went stupid viral recently because 𝙭 didn't know what year it was.
That's 𝙭's thing. Shout out to 𝙭, man. I fuck with them.
Is that his stick? Like he's kind of just airheaded or dumb?
I think.
Because there was also another clip that these are back to back, both capitalizing on his stupidity.
Yeah.
One was him genuinely not knowing what year it was, and then the other one was him Googling in Google.
That's the thing. Niggas be high, and it is his shtick. It's hard to tell, but
what part of it's real?
We'll see it the more he does it because it's like you can only trick the people for so long. Like
and I don't watch, but they've been around for a while. But that's besides the point. But
shout to them though. But but I was just saying that to your point, not to like. I don't know if I cut you off, but fuck it.
Yeah,
but just to say, even I don't know, dog. Like a lot of the media now, people who we would call media for all intents and purposes, are kind of for
the industry,
their people, which is
that's what I mean. The people. We're saying the same.
Oh,
thing.
the people, not the industry.
When I asked you, was the 80% the industry, to where it's like they favor the industry more than they favor the people. Like if you're 80% industry and 20% for the people, you're for the industry.
Okay, real quick. So when I was relating the people, I was thinking the most objective version of journalism.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I was relating it to.
Yeah,
like the person doing their title the best, like their job title the best.
Yeah.
You know, being objective and giving people whatever the truth might is, and presenting both sides or one side, you know, or whatever.
Okay,
that's how I was viewing it.
Yeah, I think that's what was confusing me because I feel like it was two different definitions.
Yeah. I mean, we never stated what the definition actually was, but that's how I was viewing it though.
Oh yeah.
So what was your percentage? You were 80-20?
80-20.
Probably the same.
80-20?
Yeah.
Lauren?
I don't know. I don't have an answer. I was gonna say your perspective did open up my mind a little more though, like of considering a lot more big YouTube creators media as well.
Oh, thanks, bro.
And a lot of those people being for the people.
Yeah.
And being unchained.
And those
and being unchained,
because they're
independent. There are a lot of big name YouTube people who control narratives still,
Say like
amongst
Jamar,
their groups, and you know what I'm saying. So I think you could name them, but even like in all different facets, even the nigga like Moist Critical, like you consider him a fucking media guy in a way. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's doing his gaming thing, but like you can consider certain people things like this because they're reporting on stories.
What's the name?
And they do it for the people.
The blue hair nigga,
Destiny.
Yeah,
so there's like a lot of big name niggas like that I guess are now in the arena that I would have never thrown in the arena before.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
So I don't know if that widens the.
It changes it dramatically. Yeah, because there's so many of them niggas.
Yeah, if I stuck into that, and I guess
even people, and we're talking about the successful version. We're not talking about like the YouTube videos with
and
2
then
views trying the same thing.
If you're continuing on that path and you're speaking to some of the athletes doing media. Some of those athletes, even them being athletes themselves, are trying to do it for the people. Some of them are of the industry though, but some of them I would say are of the people.
Nah, the athletes are for the industry.
Not all of them,
because they are the industry.
Yeah, but they're trying to bring a different perspective that is not of the media. So they're for the people. They're for the players.
But it's for them. That's what I mean. Like they are the industry. It's they feel like the coverage that they were getting wasn't fair. So let's cover our own shits.
But wouldn't that be kind of for the people still though? Like a real. It's not because it's not of the media industry that I guess.
The difference is the intention isn't they're misleading the fans.
I feel you.
It's because they're saying the wrong thing about me. So let me go control my narrative. Those are two different things.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was conflating them.
Yeah.
That is true.
Shout out to Kwame
Damn,
Brown.
a lot of those NBA niggas that had podcasts, they're not here anymore, I don't think.
A few of them are still.
A few of them are. But it's hard to maintain.
It was a lot at one point, though. It was like
Paul George had to stop.
It was the summertime when that shit was happening.
Crazy.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was just like niggas just everybody dropped the
bored, man.
Yeah, that's
Nick Young tried and was like, all right, I'm gonna stay on Gil shit.
Yeah, let me go somewhere where I don't have to do nothing but show up. Yeah, I don't blame them either.
I already know what Gil House is.
Because they got a great situation. It's like if I don't have to do all this work myself, fuck it.
Nigga.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that at all.
Carmelo's still going though.
He is. Yep.
Yeah,
with,
he's still
Mero's still
Mero.
going too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mero.
Yeah.
But all right.
Shout out to them boys.
Oh, sorry.
No, you good.
Brilliant Idiots. This most recent episode of Brilliant Idiots, I can't remember what the name is, but Charlamagne was laying out some of the reasons. Well, a few things that were happening was we were celebrating Andrew's life tour media run circuit, pretty much. You know,
Did everybody watch it? The special?
I watched some of it. I didn't.
I
Finish.
saw it live.
I haven't
though,
watched
feel
it.
like.
1 out of 10.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I
One
saw
out
it
of 10
live.
right now.
It already
watched
is a
it?
little different.
No, not yet. I
So what you
It is
mean
a
1
little
out of 10?
I'm asking
It's a
you.
little different.
Oh, I thought you were saying it's a 1 out of 10.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's what I thought I heard.
Yeah,
too,
that's what I thought you were saying.
I was like,
but
damn, out the
Nah,
gate.
it was. I watched probably like 20, 30 minutes of it. It was pretty funny. There was some moments where I didn't expect the laugh to come in that spot, and that was good. You know what I'm saying? Where it's
You're
like
right.
I didn't expect the laugh to come there,
do
and
you
that was
think?
good.
I would say it's a 7. It's a solid 7.
objectively.
Objectively. But me,
Ooh,
like,
try not to use 7. Pick a side, 6 or 8.
I think 7 is it. I think 7 describes it
Just
perfectly.
try to
Come
pick a
on,
side,
AJ.
though.
Be reasonable
Nah,
now.
be reasonable.
That's a number, nigga.
I am being reasonable.
I gave my rating. Nigga said make it higher or
Hey,
lower.
do what
man.
Lauren did. I don't like that question.
Because that's normally
Hogwash.
like this side of the bridge. Niggas don't want to. You know what I'm
I get what
saying?
you say. But
Because 8 make you really
I'm
commit to
trying-
was it good or not, nigga.
I'm
If you
trying
say
to be
8, it was
objective.
good.
I'm trying to be objective because there's certain shit that I don't like in stand-ups comedy specials.
But somebody else might like it.
Somebody else might not care. Like I don't like pictures or like show. And it wasn't like it wasn't a bad moment by any means. And honestly, I get why he did it because
Right.
like it just
it all fit.
It made it go.
Talking about
but
the little bed picture
shit
and
like
shit?
that. I'm like. You know, in my head,
was all right.
and I'm trying not to be. I'm trying not to be an asshole about it,
Sappy
but
ass nigga.
Yeah.
nigga, yeah.
Don't nobody want to walk down your memory lane.
Fucking paint the picture with your words.
Hey,
nigga.
right.
But yeah, nah, I don't. You know.
So yeah, that was the
main.
main focus of the episode. I would say
He's been
at
going on
least the
everywhere, too.
first little bit or whatever. And Charlamagne was also expressing his no respect, his newfound no respect for reactionary YouTube channel and podcasts about podcasts. That was like probably like the biggest.
All of the podcasts about podcasts.
Yeah, and why he doesn't respect it, and they were laying out reasons why they don't respect it now because he used to find it very entertaining.
yes. And
But let's listen to it real quick.
okay.
It was at like 15, right?
It was like right at 15, I think. Maybe bring
15:08.
it back to 14:30.
14:37. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Okay.
That's a vulnerable, scary thing to do.
Yeah.
I admire that. Like, do I disagree on certain things? Yeah. But I still admire, if you're a reaction channel, most of you have never put out something to be judged. You don't know what it's like to work really hard on something, give it out there to the world for them to hate it or love it. That's a vulnerable, scary thing. You just hate things. Like,
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. Me and Ak was having a conversation, and I was thinking about like, why don't I respect the reaction channels anymore? I used to enjoy them for entertainment, and that was what the reason was.
there's no vulnerability in it.
Not only is there no vulnerability,
No
in
art,
it,
yeah.
you know why we love First Take? You know why we love we'll watch Fox Sports because they'll have people on there who've actually either played the game or been so involved in the game that you respect what they're saying. It's a reason that like a podcast like the R&B Money podcast with Tank and Jay Valentine works.
Yeah.
Because Tank was an R&B star. Jay Valentine's a producer or a writer. Like they've had actual success. So when they talk about the game in the industry, you listen. And that's why when they like the L.A. Reid, Smokey Robinson's go in there and have conversations, it's a different vulnerability they have with those guys because they respect them and what they've done. The reason, like, you know, you watch some of these reaction channels or you know, watch some of these podcasts about podcasts, you like, you don't even know what you're talking about. And you haven't even had the success of any of the people that you're talking about.
And you haven't even felt the judgment when
At
you
all.
do put yourself out there. Like, it's a very comfortable, like, low risk position to just shit on things. It is the lowest risk.
It's low risk, high reward.
Oh, yeah. So
if it hits, it hits.
that's why everybody does it. It's the easiest form of content. It's I'm going to sit down and people are going to try hard on things and I'm going to shit on them when they fail. And I'll never congratulate them when they succeed.
No.
Because there's no money in it.
You should thank us. When y'all succeed, you should literally at least twice a year say, thank you.
You're welcome.
To everybody that you're talking about.
Yeah, 100%.
To me. But nah, it was enjoyable, man. One thing I enjoyed about the Club Shay interview, man. I don't know
the most epic, like, just it was such a lovely flow out.
You think
But
he thinks?
anyway.
You think he thanks Ray J every year, twice a year?
Because that's his.
Because Ray J's will put Breakfast Club on.
Like literally, no. But I think
figuratively.
Figuratively, yes. But nah, in all seriousness, I think I have heard him say like that was a big moment that like really changed it. But every year, nah.
Twice a year.
So twice a year.
Twice a
No,
year.
no,
Every
not
6
at all.
months, check in. Kiss that nigga's feet.
Should you have so you have to be better than the people that you're critiquing? Like,
Well, let's stick with what he said. Should
Yeah.
you have to have reached the same level of success?
yeah, like does Gilbert Arenas, does he have any right to talk about LeBron?
He does because he was an NBA player.
he was an NBA
But in terms of
And
heights,
then that's where
but that's where it gets tricky because
that's
yeah,
where it's
you
not
are
that strong of a point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
right,
you're
right.
an NBA player, but you didn't reach the heights that LeBron hit,
Oh,
nigga.
okay.
You ain't
You're
get
right.
that
You're
saying?
right. You're right.
You ain't
Like-
get 4 rings.
That's a fact. Yeah.
You know,
so it's like-
even with like like a show
Gilbert
like
was-
LOI
Gilbert
the
was one of
show,
them,
just
though.
a
Shit, Chuck.
Gilbert
no
was
rings.
one of them though.
Chuck, who I hate
No rings.
as a player,
Yeah.
but
He was one of them too, though. We talking about
he's
guys
one
who
of
are
those
them.
guys. Like he talks the most.
Yeah, but
And
Chuck
he wasn't the worst.
We're talking
He
about great players.
He
though.
played with his heart, so he's held to higher.
Use a different
standards.
player,
but
though.
still, no rings has the most to say about people like KD though.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, KD is like he's but that's just a bad argument because it'll only be one person able to critique.
Michael
and
Jordan.
he might not be able to. He might not care about it.
But people would say to your point simply, at least they played in the league. They played in the game.
Right. Yeah.
That's
right,
too
right.
easy of a point to just throw away because I can say that.
But
I can say this.
What do you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's no clear winner, but
And as far as like reaction channels, are reaction channels the easiest thing?
specifically hating everything is easy. That is something
That
I
is-
agree
that
with.
is easy.
Like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
coming up on like, yeah, that's not good. Like show me what good is then, nigga. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
just
yeah.
be
hating
Of
everything
course.
is definitely the easiest.
That's
Of course.
that's definitely
Yeah.
true. But reaction channel, a lot of reaction channels, this is not their first time making content.
no.
A lot of the
They're,
times
they're not beginners.
they was putting other stuff out and it just like it didn't hit it. It was
Yeah.
all right, and then they found something that was working for them, and then they did it.
and it could
Yeah.
be used. It could be also be looked at as like they were training for the level that they're at now too.
Yeah,
Like by having all those attempts that they made out
And that they failed
before,
at,
that they
yeah.
failed
Are we a reaction channel?
at. Is this show a reaction?
Are we
channel?
like a hybrid?
I think the
Gas.
funniest part, I just do want to throw this out there. I do think something that I found like funny is that there was emphasis on reaction channels, but this episode felt like we were just reacting to the Club 𝔓𝔦𝔑 Andrew Schulz interview for like the first. I said, "What are we doing right now?"
You know what's even more ironic?
Yeah.
Andrew's point was the reaction channel niggas have never put something out into the world and to have it be critiqued and judged back.
Right.
That's what they're doing to the
That's
niggas
what-
right now.
Yeah.
That's the shit
Hey,
that's crazy about
them
it.
niggas be
He's
sounding-
doing it right now.
Hey, bruh, I swear to God, bruh, this whole thing, podcast about podcasts, when it gets too close, everybody just starts to sound stupid. It's just like
It destroys itself.
it's just like,
we're in the middle.
like as you trying to cook, I feel like I'm watching Homeroom.
Yeah.
I'm watching Homeroom
yeah.
adjacent. Niggas
Yeah.
is dropping clips. I'm like, where are we going right now?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I want to be able to just be like,
Yeah.
cook me, nigga.
But you're
cook
also
this
just-
whole system.
Yeah.
But damn, I'm watching Homeroom right now.
It's too much
having
of
a
a-
good time. You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately.
It's pretty good because I didn't watch the Club 𝔓𝔦𝔑, so I get to hear the little bits and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Niggas is like, niggas is.
I get my little recap and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Stay up to date.
I got a good
I
judge
get my
of
little
what
fix.
I get a good judge of what happened over there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
I'm just like
And three humble
listen,
opinions.
And 3 humble
Yeah.
opinions. We got Chris and
Too much conversation. It's a lot of conversation happening.
I don't know who that new nigga is behind the camera, but it hasn't been Alex recently.
Yeah.
It's I don't know his name. I forgot his name. Is it Miles?
I kind of like when he adds in. He kind of adds.
Is that Miles who's adding
It might be
in?
his name.
Yeah.
I just don't know, but I know it's a white dude.
He's a cool guy.
Miles is up there with him.
I just feel like now when I
Miles
hear
is a
him
cool
add
name.
in, it'd be like his add-ins are very conscious to what the show needs to go forward or a new conversation point. Or I feel like when he does throw in his little thing,
Uses it wisely.
he uses it wisely.
Yeah.
It's literally breaking case.
I haven't felt like it's been wasted yet.
He got a Lauren. They
Yeah,
got a
like
Lauren on their side.
I've just seen solid assists so far. Compared to like Alex is more of a friend to even us as listeners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I'm listening to Alex chime in, I'm not really listening for him to throw an assist or alley-oop or offer a different perspective. It's just like Alex is saying some shit. They're gonna go back to the guys at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this nigga, he's like, I don't want to be part of the conversation, but
I almost don't want y'all to hear me.
yeah. But like, you forgot that side of the story. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like, I
Exactly.
kind of like that.
Yeah, nah, like what do y'all think about this though?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Shit
And then
like
he
that.
steps back, and we don't hear from him for a while again.
I like dudes
Yeah,
like
I
that.
like how he kind of,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
You know, he do what he do.
Yeah, I like that.
Said he thinks like a lawyer. That's good.
What other points were made in that episode? They're not all we didn't all play them here, but like what other points were made in that podcast
About the
being too
pod-
long?
Oh yeah.
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 Podcast being too long. A tight hour is what Charlamagne said until the Podfather spoke.
He said
was-
that part. I didn't even hear that
He
part.
did, and he was like, absolutely not. That is way too
So
short.
the hour is a little light.
2.5, and then he was like, it kind of.
Yeah, 90 minutes. I
Yeah.
think he said 90 minutes.
said
that
90
sweet
minutes?
spot.
Yeah. It was like he was trying to like, I don't know. It was crazy. But Chris was like, no. When me and Combat Jet started, it was out of control.
And
He just wouldn't stop. It was 2-3 hours, and then come to find out this episode was 2.5 hours.
and like
So you know, it's like
to what
his heart was in the right place. I think.
yeah, nah.
Charlotte's or Chris's?
I mean, Charles was trying to be. It was in the right place for himself.
Yeah.
But it wasn't in the right place to like
For the world.
to pose a strong argument against this right now when we're about to just redo this
Yeah.
again.
And how like what does Charlamagne I'll give Andrew his credit. Like he's a comic. You go on stage by yourself, apparently, unless you want to use pictures of your family and shit. But with Charlamagne, he's a broadcasting, he's a media guy.
Yeah.
Like Charlamagne is famous by himself, but he's not worth much if other famous people aren't coming up to like the Breakfast Club and like his orbit.
He needs hip
You
hop.
feel me?
He needs hip hop to do things for him to react to
Like
every day.
just as much as
yeah.
the other.
Yeah.
We're just talking about the relationships again between the media and
mainly hip hop. Like I need every rapper to do something, drop something, whether it be
So
in
it
music. I
literally-
need something to react to.
It
as
literally
well.
works the same way.
I agree with you, and I absolutely agree with you.
Kinda.
But I think the only argument that could be made against that is that like rap is so big, and like podcasting is huge, but it's also new that it's gotten to the size to where that can happen to them. You know what I mean? Like
The media giant being touched is still a very new concept.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like reviewing the media, this shit didn't happen before.
What the
Like,
fuck
niggas
is this?
didn't,
This
like,
is lame as hell. Like
y'all it was-
following them more than the artist. Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
think it's probably just that growing phase of like understanding where
Coping.
niggas
Niggas
at.
are still coping with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the new thing. Some are
And-
coping harder than others.
Isn't that what it's supposed to be though? Like you're not supposed to. Usually the
supposed
person
to hate the new
that jokes
generation.
on people the most hates being joked on.
Yeah.
They're
Sometimes.
they're also talking about the people who don't like what they've been doing. Because there's a lot of reaction channels. There's a
Yeah.
lot of niggas in support of shit. There's a lot of niggas that's hating on shit. You choose what you watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the show that you watched the most regularly, even though it was like 3 hours, there was always, timestamps at some point and clips for you to just kind of get through it a lot quicker. You know what I'm saying? If they're just like consistently like, fuck that nigga now.
Yeah.
I can understand why I hate it now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hate it too. It's
Yeah, of
I
course.
fuck it.
And now I can't understand it because I'm mad. so
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
I can't literally
yeah.
like sit
I'm
down and be
already-
able to look at the optics of like, okay, I get why this is happening. Like I'm that
yeah.
big of a commodity. Of course.
Because
this
what
is-
happened to all those things that I thought were valuable before, they just went away overnight.
They just disappeared.
They just disappeared. This was valuable. And it wasn't just entertainment.
Yeah.
It was valuable for these bullet pointed reasons. All those bullet pointed reasons are just now, I don't have to respect that anymore. So let's go over to Schultz's point. One of his biggest points. I think Schulz, I do always like when
Schulz is closer.
I always like when they talk, because who knows who they're talking about? They're talking about a podcast about podcasts. I don't know who exactly they're talking about.
And they don't put out any other
but for YouTube purposes, they were definitely talking about Homeroom University. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the smart thing to do.
Podcast about podcasts.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
yeah, it's the smart thing to do.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm the only nigga to say that shit, bro.
Yeah, right.
The only nigga on YouTube that
Yeah.
Unless y'all
Poetic Flocko. Let me tell y'all, Poetic Flocko called me. I'm minding my business. I haven't talked to Poetic Flocko in a nice little minute. As soon as I answer the phone, FaceTime. Boy! I was
Smiling
like,
and shit.
He said, y'all niggas is really beefing now. He said, hey, look, man, he said your name. I said, he said my name? He said, a podcast about podcasts. That's as good as we're gonna get.
It's not the same Flocko.
No, but he said
that
that shit had me rolling. He said, that's as good as we're gonna get, AJ. I'm about to cover all this.
That's
shit.
more than
taking a run.
Nigga, that's more than what Flocko get. He could have made it. Oh my god.
Yo, Flocko's made videos with less information.
Wait, little.
Yeah, bro. He said that was the moniker. He said he didn't have to say the name. He said the moniker. That's you.
That's even worse.
Flocko makes the most out of nothing.
Yeah,
Make
but
a pizza with a pepperoni slice.
just in case he wasn't talking about us.
Cheese.
What was I saying? I think that I always find it interesting when they talk about YouTube creators and go through these like cycles in conversation where they talk about YouTube, reactionary channels, podcasts about podcasts, lazy people, or taking the easiest route to get clicks off of hate, you know? Because Schulz, his opinion, I understand it if I'm him. The reason I understand it with him, his whole point was, you as a creator have never put a piece of art out that's left to be scrutinized and judged. Even though it's not 100% wrong.
That's a hell of an assumption.
I get what he's saying.
That is a hell of an assumption.
It's a crazy assumption.
Because you have to say somebody's name specifically.
You're right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but as YouTube creators and everybody that knows how hard it is to get 1,000 views on YouTube, you putting that piece of content out that gets 200,000 or 100,000 or 50,000 or 1,000, that is a piece of art. And that is a piece of art that was put out to the world.
Yeah.
Left to be scrutinized and vulnerability. Now, I'm a comedian, Andrew Schulz. He might only be chalking it up to, you have the nerve to talk about my comedy, but you've never stepped foot on stage. That's a little different.
And that's, that might be a better argument for him.
But he better not be making that.
But he shouldn't make that because it kind of moves it from the
It
original topic.
It does, but that's the most it makes sense to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
He could also be talking about the
But-
level.
and
though.
sadly, he didn't even mean that.
Yeah, I don't think that
because he should have said that.
Because he's not talking just straight content. He means all art, all media.
He could also mean like
content.
the level of like how much it's digest, like how high he is up on there and being vulnerable on that level, that scale, I guess. But it's like,
oh, I see.
You see what I'm saying?
You can only be so big and still be vulnerable,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
And that rarity is rare.
Is rare. Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah,
it's just easy to shoot from the ground.
Yeah.
We're not gonna aim back down at you like you over there.
Yeah.
They aim at the ground too. They aim at the ground. A lot of them don't like to aim at the same level that they're at.
You know what they do?
When they get up there.
They throw shit
niggas
up in
niggas get pussy when they get to the top.
They're afraid they're gonna like not focus up and fall. You know what I mean? Because it's a balancing act when you got to shoot and fucking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I always find
it's pussy, or you think it's like trying to understand what leverage they might be giving.
I think it's pussy because it's like I think it's pussy. Like these niggas are this high and mighty. I'm too good to respond to this shit. When most of the time, when a nigga on their level or maybe above them, the person that we really should be seeing you go back and forth, they don't want no problem with it.
Yeah.
They only go to somebody who's already getting dogpiled. They go to somebody who's below them.
Yeah.
And you don't see a lot of these people squaring up with niggas that they're opponents, that they're in the same weight class with.
Unless their name is Corey Holcomb.
Yeah.
Corey Holcomb ain't scared of nobody.
No, dead ass, bro. Like
Comes with
that's
a cause, though.
which is why. But then
Which is why he's Corey Holcomb.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but a lot of them talk like, I spit on these niggas below me, but they're the same ones that you keep talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How much spitting is really happening? Pause.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't even know. It just sounded. I just threw it in there just because.
I'm willing to walk. I'm just like, we can move on.
Yeah. So I do find that funny
Had to
where it's
breathe.
like they don't want no smoke with the nigga on their level.
Yes.
None.
It's only a couple chosen few that are able to like punch up, down, sideways,
Niggas
and
go-
still
Where
be
do
Where you
out
put
here.
Elliot at?
Down.
In term below him, right?
Down. That was just. I thought that was embarrassing.
Act?
Like, act same level.
Charlamagne on Charlamagne?
Yeah,
Yeah, same level or slightly above. But
Right.
Ack and Charlamagne already have that weird thing where when Charlamagne takes shots at Ack, and that it's always really respectful. You know, this is my guy, this is my mentor. I'm academics, this is my guy, my mentor. But he's actually wrong right here, and this is why he's wrong. And then when Charlamagne will speak on academics, you know, there's a lot of these pages, you know, like my guy Ack, you know, they just running with the false information, and it's better. They try to school each other and educate each other in a dissing way. It's not like you said these things. No, nigga, how about this? You do these things. You know what I mean? Like, but there's no real toe to toe.
That's probably most relationships. They're just waiting.
Yeah.
Like the motherfuckers are just waiting until like, well, nigga, you like with our homie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Nigga, but you did this.
Nigga, I picked you up from jail yesterday. Shut up.
So yeah, that's always funny. I'm trying to think. There was something else that was said.
Shout out to homie.
There's something else that was said that was like,
That was in that original statement?
yeah, possibly, and it was just like, man, we're just letting shit go.
It infuriated you.
No, I just said, man, this is crazy. First of all, this is the first 15 minutes of the podcast. And it was just, and I thought it was just funny because it was like, Andrew was kind of just like celebrating, but Charlamagne was like, let me make sure I find my moments to get my shit off.
Yeah.
But how
Look,
fuck with these niggas?
Can I be honest? As people who listen to podcasts, talk about podcasts and shit like that, can we not say that conversation they had just now was a lazy conversation?
Oh, yeah, them? Oh, yeah.
That was a lazy
yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
That was a lazy podcast conversation.
Yeah. In terms of trying to cook something.
In terms of trying to cook something or to try to extrapolate it.
Yeah, it was bad.
But
that's why I said
you see what I'm saying?
The closer it gets, the nastier it gets.
What did they really extrapolate?
It could have been better. There's nothing that's extrapolated.
Yeah, nah. Did somebody
That's what
say
I'm
that
saying.
they did that?
No,
but
he's
I'm
just saying,
saying,
I
like-
can't believe how lazy it was. The fact that we were just able to just do this to him so quick. Just pick
Because
the
they
shit
don't want to
apart.
have a real discussion about
No.
it.
Yeah.
Like
No.
they just want they both come from the same place to where it's like, I don't really be liking what niggas say. And so how can I find like after that has been established, let's justify everything else around it.
Right.
And there's no need
Try
to
to
talk
make
about
sense of
anything
it.
else.
Yeah.
And you know, how about it?
I get what you're saying though, and it was all pointless to them. This was about a specific group of people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
We gotta grease that shit. My fault.
That's I thought it was a dog squeak toy or something.
Nah.
That was crazy.
I thought it was F-Max.
That's the fucking. I thought F-Max stepped on like a squeak toy. or
Thought he
something.
brought his rubber ducky.
Yeah, but
F-Max got on some.
I don't think there was anything else. I had some other slick shit that I was gonna say off the top of my head, but I can't remember what it was now.
Yeah,
Just start with an F and end with a U.
What?
No.
I don't know why I slowed it. You.
Are you talking about two words? I don't
He
know.
was did we talk about
if y'all what, my bad.
I was about to say, did we talk about the point to where he was saying that we don't like niggas don't know what they're talking about?
I think
Because that was another piece of the
we
conversation.
did. That is the last thing that we kind of need to address. But I kind of addressed that in the previous chapter before this, when there are a lot of things. First of all, there's a couple things that happen. As you go into an industry, whether you've reached the same heights as somebody that you may be speaking on, you start getting new connections and meeting these people and meeting people, whether they be the actual people on screen or the corporations, either one. But long story short, a lot of small businesses are running the same exact level as corporations. It's just the only difference is scale. So the things that work for a small business that only gets 3,000 views is the same thing that I've noticed and that a lot of people have noticed in meetings and vice versa. When you go to these corporations that are looking for 3 million in return, are looking at the same fundamentals that you were looking at it for 3,000. You know what I mean? So no, you don't have to hit the same heights or have the same accolades, if that's what we want to call it, as the person that you're speaking on when you're in the business. And
because nobody.
And also, sometimes with enough information, whether you are directly next to it or not, your knowledge of the industry, the craft or the art form, the thing, could give you enough insight to where you are 90% on. Could be completely wrong too. But a lot of the times you be 90% on. I would say in our case, based on vast amount of people that we have spoke about or spoke to, whether they be directly a part or adjacent, we never even said, do we? One of the people in particular, I won't say who they are, they were like, the thing that I find the most interesting and that I like the most about you is that you don't know a fucking thing, but you get 90% of the things right. That was one of the people. I won't say who it is. I just won't say who it is.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know.
But it matters.
But
is
that a compliment?
It's not really a compliment because we're not talking about complex
I don't think it's
situations that
it's
have
not really
to deal
a compliment, but I think they found it fascinating.
Yeah.
That somebody that's not in the inner circle could figure it out just by watching the outside.
But does that go? Is that really?
Is that skill? Like
that's kind of telling
I don't
you.
even know if that's skill.
That's like
it's just niggas doing shit.
No,
how good did they think they were hiding what they were doing? Like how good did they think they were hiding what they were doing?
That could be another.
It's like
thing.
wow, you really did. It's like nigga, I could see it.
Right, yeah, low key.
It's not that hard.
They might have thought they were really moving on some covert shit.
Yeah, it's like a lot of shit.
Yeah,
that we talk about. You know, it is certain, but it has to deal with principles and boundaries and morals.
Yeah, facts.
A lot of times, like even what we're talking about now, they're being hypocrites.
Yeah, and a lot of the times when we are making like assumptions on things, it is like I can't fuck with that. Just as a human, I don't like that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
it's
then
like
because we in it.
Yeah,
we know what they're thinking sometimes.
Right.
You feel me?
If I saw this happen, how would I feel in it? Because I am in it.
Yeah.
Even if it's not on the same scale.
Which is also a part of being a good, what do you say, analyzer?
Analyst, yeah.
A good analyst is like
it's like low budget sociology, low key.
Yeah,
you know the study of humans.
We're social engineers.
We're social. That's a fact. Social engineers. Title the episode 99.25.
Like Prometheus, nigga. I'm the bald white dude.
Yeah, man.
Like Elon.
But nah, man, it's being hypocrites. I don't know if we wanted to go to Shay and kind of tie this in because you know. Shay had asked Andrew a question, and it was just like, you know, a lot of people say you use stereotypes a lot. You know, that's kind of like.
Now, is this part of.
That's like your shtick.
We can go over there. I'll hit the bell.
Yeah, we can go over there.
Is this part of. Did they review this in the Bray Idiots episode, or we're going to the Club Shay?
We're going to Club Shay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So basically, it was one of the better conversations that Andrew Schulz probably had
on his run.
Tony had told me, it was like, yeah, man, it was pretty good. It was very smooth. Yeah. And it was just two cool brothers talking.
They got along very well.
Yeah.
Too well.
Like surprisingly well. Like I didn't think they would hate each other, but
I thought Andrew was trying to shake him for something.
I think one of the things that I did like that Andrew said in the Brilliant Idiots was the best conversations that he's had in this promo run were when people thought you were different. No, when they thought one thing of you and then that wasn't completely right or it was some fabricated story. He was like, those ended up always being the best conversations. And that does make sense. Like,
because you got to really explain.
Yeah. Compared to going somewhere where they know you and they know the context and all that other shit. So, yeah.
And people who aren't, black people who aren't, you know, direct fans of Andrew, they have a certain look, you know, or view towards him because, you know, this white kid, of course, a classic white kid, Vanilla Ice. Yeah. It always happens to us. Robin Thicke, the classic, you know, the white man trying to take the black man style.
Yeah. And he also wasn't introduced to them like just being funny.
Exactly.
He was introduced to them as, yo, this is a nigga that's doing something wrong.
But a part of his run going to Club Shay ended up asking him, you know, just a question about how he thinks he should use stereotypes and how far he thinks Andrew takes it. You can just click play. It's kind of funny too because
I went to 120 or 1820. That thing.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
1816.
This was kind of funny. Shay is going to start talking about how he's afraid to be in elevators with white women, so we're going to hear a little bit of that. But let's hit play.
Don't put it on the screen because you know what's interesting about Club Shay is you be good for like a month and then they double back and hit you.
Back.
Yeah,
that's how.
He's slow as molasses.
Yeah, that's literally how it's been happening. It's like you're good for the first month, everything green. They're coming back at some point. Yeah, so.
Let's hear it.
Because if I'm on the elevator by myself and a woman steps on, I'll get off.
White women only or black women?
It doesn't matter.
So you won't enter an elevator with a black woman.
I don't get it.
Clip it.
Nigga said I'm running for pussy.
Nah, but he was being so real though.
Because
I was like, damn.
That's why Schulz said clip that.
Yeah, I never even thought about being that famous and having that problem. It's like, damn, I'm not thinking big enough. But let's just keep hitting play. It's gonna eventually get into it.
Can we go back just a little bit? It was really quick. I do want to hear it again.
If I'm on the elevator by myself and a woman steps on, I'll get off.
White women only or black women?
It doesn't matter.
So you won't enter an elevator with a black woman?
I don't get a
clip it. No.
Single. A single.
I refuse to ride in an elevator with a black woman.
No, it don't matter what color.
I just want to let you know, black women, I will ride in the elevator with you.
There you go, Gary.
Unlike Unc, I will ride in the elevator with you. Okay.
But you do realize, like sometimes that in history, stereotypes have impacted people, a certain group of people, in a negative way.
Yeah. If it's a negative stereotype, yeah.
Yeah. But you go into that sometimes. You don't like, you know what,
Yeah, I mean, I think intention is everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I think my intention is to like bring joy and make people laugh. So that's what I do.
But you do realize that intent only matters to you. The group that you're talking about is still equally as offended.
If they're offended. Right. I think a lot of times we assume that people don't like humor.
What the fuck was that? That nigga should be doing dare meetings for children.
That was Uncle Shay.
That was some real Uncle shit.
I was like, what the?
That's
a good parent.
I think it's like 10 more seconds. I think it's like 10 more seconds.
Okay.
So that's what I do.
But you do realize that intent only matters to you. The group that you're talking about is still equally as offended.
If they're offended.
Right.
I think a lot of times we assume that people don't like humor. Okay. But I think for the most part, Americans like to laugh. And we like to laugh at each other.
Okay.
So I bank on Americans having a sense of humor.
Okay.
Over them not having a sense of humor 100% of the time. Because we're not a humorless culture. There are cultures that are humorless and they don't get shit. But part of America, like, we love laughing at shit. Like, it don't matter who it is. They could be the most radioactive person in the world. It could be Donald Trump. There was this Indian guy trying to ask Donald Trump a question. Did you see that? It was in like a press conference. And this Indian guy had the thickest Indian accent ever. He's speaking English though. But it's just, you know.
It's hard. It's broken.
And he's like, Mr. Trump, whatever. He's doing the whole thing. And Trump just cuts him off and goes, I don't know what the hell this guy said. Now, when he says that, Americans, we die laughing at it. Because it's just this insane moment that happened, right?
That also technically is a stereotype. But what was I saw you reacting.
Oh, I remember there was a certain scene where like both these niggas' legs crossed at the same time. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. They both just did the...
Yeah.
Shayna was trying to stand on business for real.
Yeah, nah. But sometimes you know that doesn't bring up.
But sometimes them niggas are still offended. So what do you say to that?
Yeah.
I said, damn.
Yeah.
Like, who is that nigga? I'm in trouble for real.
Nigga,
you know,
went away from the cue cards real quick.
Yo, that nigga broke character for
Forgot
sure.
he had them cue cards.
Yeah, he broke character.
And to even what he said, like, depending on what you're doing, the intent is everything. Intention is everything.
Yeah. But stereotypes, like, you know, if you're gonna use them, it's because you probably aren't that funny. Like, cause it's right there. It's the low hanging fruit. It's the easiest shit to go for.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would say
you can
I wouldn't
spin those
say that.
funny ways.
And
if you spin it, but that's what art is. A lot of niggas just go for it and grab it.
I mean, I would just say in general, New Yorkers have a much wider palette and diverse palette of stereotypes to even pick from.
Facts.
Yeah.
Because of how many cultures are around them
Melting
in general.
pot, man.
So just like like a New Yorker alone, whether he be white, black, or whatever, they could tell you about Trinidadians to Jamaicans to Haitians. Like, niggas know the differences, like whether they even dated somebody. It's just the fact that they
how can you tell a Panamanian apart?
That's what I'm saying. Like me, I'm grouping a certain group of Mexicans together, like a Hispanic.
They even
together,
have
like,
different types of whites there.
You see what I just did? Like, I'm grouping a gang of shit together compared to just an average New Yorker, probably.
Yeah, they even have different kinds of whites. They even have regular, they have like American whites. They have Italians. They have fucking everything.
Scottish,
They got
Irish,
and in New York, it's like what white are you? For
what
real?
white are you? Yeah,
for real.
And if you want to go 30 seconds, I even think he chimes in on that a little bit. He was like, man, it was Asian kids fucking with Haitians, but the Haitians was talking shit to the Panamanians. And it was like, we were just all banging on each other. So when I got into comedy, it was like, shit, I guess I'm talking about everybody.
Like when I was up in Philly, I knew Cambodians. Like, I can tell a Cambodian from any of them.
Yeah, they're browner, right?
Yeah, they're browner. They're niggas, essentially. But like,
got hands too.
Like that.
Niggas.
I know a couple Cambodians with
hands.
Hands, nigga. I knew some Cambodians that had hands, nigga. But
I thought Hawaiian had Samoans had the hands.
Korean and Chinese, I could tell the difference pretty confidently between them. Like, just because there was so many.
Didn't we do that on
Culture-wise.
Patreon?
We went through all
It's
Asian.
a different type of Asians.
I could have sworn we did that.
We did.
It was
we
different.
did.
Yeah, we did.
I think we got. It's actually kind of hard. I don't
It
think we
is.
did good, but in real life, it's not that hard.
Not our
Yeah.
best moment.
It's not that hard in real life.
That's why it's behind the paywall.
Sometimes the paywall's there to hide things.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not always just because
We can't just throw this away.
Right. You said 30 more seconds in?
Yeah, let's skip about 30 more seconds, Lauren.
Him using stereotypes, I don't know. But we also just have to keep in mind, we've known black people for a long time. I do like in this interview how he's making sure during these runs, like he's giving people like Duval his flowers, and how because of Charlamagne, black people knew me first. Like my fan base was black and Indian, straight up. Until Joe Rogan, for real. You know what I mean? Like, I do appreciate him celebrating.
Joe Rogan brought me home.
Yeah, essentially, essentially, dead ass. But like his foundation was built off of that. But I thought it's also funny because once he went, black people, he was known in black and ethnic groups first. Then he went white. And then when he did kind of come back, it was because the black woman thing with chits and gigs.
And
now
what's funny?
Shannon is really, this is all that energy of, I'm acting like I'm just now meeting you, and we have a big problem with you and black people, it seems like. You know what I mean? But not really. You know what I'm saying? If you've been following the nigga.
You've been following him.
Yeah, it's like, we were the only ones that fucked with him for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's like a solid.
White people hated Andrew.
Bro, they did, bro. Niggas was holding up his career for a solid 5-7 years, bro.
Yeah.
Like on no exaggeration.
And it wasn't, he didn't choose that.
It just happened to be what it was.
And it was just organic. So it's like, it's a lot of niggas that are meeting him for the first time in 2025, which is kind of crazy. It's a crazy thing for me to say because I felt like I've just known this nigga
we were
for
watching for so long.
But yeah, it's a lot of niggas that are just coming around now, and it's like, hey, if you meet, first impressions are everything. So it's like, if you come in, if I know you because Kendrick Lamar, our God and Savior, was talking shit about you, nigga, you're done. Like, my brain
you are a devil.
My brain couldn't understand you. It's not primed for it. Like I already put you in a certain basket.
White devil.
Look at him. And the mustache don't help. The nigga be talking and trying to interview the interviewer. Like
then he has a Jewish last name, but he's not Jewish.
And he got Shay. He was like, really? Is that a joke?
He doesn't have diamonds in his ears. I'll give him.
He does confuse ethnic people.
Yeah.
Like he confuses ethnic people for real. They're like, this is just another Jew getting away with saying shit about niggas.
Yeah.
They're not even Jewish.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but when you look at him, he looked like he could be Spaniard or like,
Right.
It's not just like clear white.
Yeah.
He also doesn't play Jew. Like he doesn't try to act like he is Jewish. Like he gets in front of the Jewish before it's even put on him. Like I'm not even Jewish.
Maybe we should use Jewish.
Jewish.
We threw a couple Jews out there. It just sounded kind of crazy.
Oh no,
that's all right.
Oh, we love
it. Wasn't
them.
a hard J.
It wasn't a hard J.
It wasn't a hard
You're
J.
right.
It's a
Small
very
hat.
slight, soft, loving J.
It was like love.
It was an endearing J. Yeah.
We said it like
like the Jews.
like fucking just hilarious.
Yeah.
I want to hear her shit.
I'm finna go get some Skittles from the Jew store.
Yo.
Let's listen to what Andrew has to say.
Yeah.
No, hell no. Because this isn't about them. This is about me. But if I said something,
That's what I'm talking about.
If I said something about a group,
now you're
and
getting it.
No, but if I say something about a group, if let's just say an Indian or Asian American says, that, I'm good. I don't need the whole company. I don't need the whole 15 million people to say something.
Okay, ready? I don't like your takes on football.
Okay.
And what if a football player said, no, I don't dislike your takes, but what if a football player said, one football player, not the whole group, one football player said, I don't like your takes. Would you stop playing football? Would you stop talking about football?
No.
Why not?
No, because I'm not talking stereotypically. I'm not trying to demean him. I'm critiquing his play. That's what I'm doing. I'm talking about based on my knowledge of the game, having played the game, having studied the game, having covered the game. I'm basing my opinion solely on my intimate knowledge of the game. It's not about you. I'm not talking about what you might have done on off the field. I'm not talking about anything other than that.
What about basketball?
Yes. Yeah,
but you never played basketball.
I never played basketball.
but you still have an opinion on it.
I still have an opinion,
and that opinion sometimes rubs people the wrong way.
It does,
and you keep talking about it.
But again, I'm talking about their play, not their ethnicity, not something that they have maybe have done that people have talked about for 100, 200 years. There's a difference, I believe. Stereotype is, I'm not stereotyping that player. I'm not saying, well, because Luka's white, he can't jump.
You talk about, you're saying specifically stereotypes.
Yes.
But what if, like, it's a cultural analysis?
Pause.
They fucked him up with that.
Wait. I kind of want to hear what he says after that.
But that's such it's a slimy. He did something. This nigga just casted a spell.
Just run it.
I think it all depends. I mean, if it's a situation where,
like, is there a specific thing that you're referencing from me? Because maybe I can speak to it.
Deadass, like,
well, seems like you're hung up on this.
No, I'm not hung up because I look at guys that do the edgy comedy.
Yes,
and I do believe that's kind of where you go. You like to live on the edges. You like, damn, this middle, it's too safe in here. Yeah, I need to be right up to the edge. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Let me look over there. You know what? As a matter of fact, let me put my foot over the edge. That's how you look.
Yeah, that's the fun. Well, it depends. Like, not to like plug my special, but my current special is just like me not being able to get my wife pregnant because my sperm sucks. So it's like I could also go to Abu Dhabi and make fun of them about the interesting cultural observations I've made, and then I could talk about the things that are difficult and vulnerable in my life. So it depends. And there's some people that might be offended, but there's also like multiple arenas of people who are specifically coming out to see me make fun of them.
Well, you had sold out back at the Forum and the Crib. You sold out Madison Square Garden, so yeah.
And like when you look at the audiences at my shows, I would be like concerned if I was in your situation if it was just like all white people and we're just laughing at minorities.
Right.
That'd be weird.
Right.
But when you look at it and it looks like the UN, to me it's like it's the proof in the pudding.
Right.
It's like, oh wow, these people actually enjoy seeing this, and they don't like Karens telling them what they should or shouldn't laugh at. Most people that I see policing jokes are like some white guy on NPR from Maine who's never had a minority friend who's like, white people should not be doing this. And then minorities are too sensitive. We cannot make a joke about them at all. Their feelings get hurt. They're so weak. And it's like, to me, that's racist. It's racist that you assume that they can't take jokes.
Hey, boss.
Like,
he's killing this answer right now. He's answering it pretty flawlessly.
Yeah. He is.
He's killing it. He hasn't, I mean, he's worked it out, obviously. He knew this shit was coming up.
I had to answer for this a couple times.
But
yeah. And this is nothing new. Like,
this is light work.
Chris Rock faced a lot of backlash when he dropped Bigger and Blacker.
Yeah.
Because a lot of black people was like, yo, you just airing our dirty laundry. You just talking about stereotypes and all that shit.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Like, so it's just...
Yeah, niggas hated him for that
Some people are going to complain and some people are going to laugh.
Yeah.
It's usually when you laugh, you do it and then you stop and then that's it. But if something offends you and you're complaining, you're just going to keep complaining about that shit.
Yeah.
And so, they just have a longer microphone.
And also what that was too, it was like Shannon was trying to take the upsetness that other people are feeling. He don't feel that shit.
No. He wouldn't have had him here if he did.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like he don't feel it. So it's like, it's kind of hard to even like hone in on some shit that I don't either give a fuck about or
the producers told me to ask this, dog.
It's on the questions. It's on the cue cards, man. And it said in parentheses, be an angry black man in this moment. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's another thing that like this interview in particular made me realize. I don't know how involved Shannon is.
The nigga don't know what's happening
with
Shay.
the creative process
he shows
and
up.
some of these questions because it's like he was reading one and I was like, damn, he don't even know what he's talking about. No, like he knows that he was just supposed to say that. I wish I remember the question.
He moves like he's actually living a lifestyle. He even talked about like, nigga, I'm on the plane like during the year than I am on the ground, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
He's moving around. Producers are his friends.
Yeah.
Like his assistant, he was talking about like, man, my assistant, I don't be playing. You know what I mean? And if
because there's really so much shit going on.
It's really so much shit going on. But yeah, Shannon, when it comes down to interviewing, he cares about doing a great job, but he doesn't do the research.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Nah. Weren't we trying to say he was a better interviewer than somebody at one point in time?
Did we go there?
It was Charlotte and him versus the LL Cool J, I think. When they both interviewed LL
who interviewed LL?
Yeah, and I think
that's what it was.
Like somebody was trying to say that it's getting close.
I don't think that was the conversation, but it was more
But
like
if that did come up,
in that
It came up
in that
somehow.
context.
it sounds like me. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds like me. I don't know if
Shay
that
Shay over
happened.
Charlamagne.
but in the
It's
context,
likely.
in the context of just that one, I think it was because I said it seemed like he was having a lot more fun and it was a looser conversation.
Yeah.
When we were putting them against each other, I was taking the Shay Shay over the
It was that
Over
out of, con- it was
Charlamagne.
that out of
Yeah.
over the
context.
Charlamagne out of context interview.
Yeah.
Because that one was
But
just
you don't know. You don't just stop. Like you'll get that,
and I'm
then
sure- which
it's
is
like,
why-
so is it time to say that Shannon's better?
Yeah.
Is it
I
time?
probably went there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
We'll
I
tell him to sit back down, but he'll be like, "Is it time?
Is it time?
I probably went there. And so, which is
Fuck.
why I know it started in a good place.
Starting to go.
And then just said, hey, fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
And
He's probably better.
Andrew said we won't have vulnerability, nigga. This is as real as it gets.
Oh, man. That's funny as shit.
Nah,
that
that's
was
hilarious.
before I made the conscious decision to fuck it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I was going there first now.
You know
what I'm
that's what
saying?
happens.
Yeah.
Andrew also fucked up one of his points from the segment right before here,
I noticed that.
where he was saying
I
that like
noticed
you
that,
gotta
yeah.
play the
sport.
you
almost.
can't talk about it if you weren't in the sport, but he's
Hey.
letting Shannon talk basketball.
Yeah, and comedy. And he was
And
like, you didn't play basketball, though. But yeah, so why would I stop? He's pretty much saying, don't let that bullshit stop you.
Yeah, but let it stop us.
Exactly.
But let it stop us.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You
That
know,
don't make no
it's
sense,
just, that's the only thing about making grandstands like that and then traveling. It's just,
And talking in absolute.
you just forget.
It's
You
very
just
hard
forget.
to
Yeah.
be Jesus, nigga.
Yeah.
It's a problem I have too. Sometimes I'll be like, the only this is the best. And
Thank
then it's
God
like,
I'm only on camera right now once a week. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit easier for me to maintain my either stupid or good points.
Yep.
But once 3
But it's not hard to
gonna get a
fucking
little-
recorrect it.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
not.
come back next week.
Yeah, facts. Which is that's what podcasting is all about. We're coming back next week.
We'll always come back next week.
We always come back next
to
week.
apologize.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, we
And
was
we don't
tripping
always
last
get it.
week.
Niggas don't always get it right in the first
Yeah.
conversation, and it's a conversation, not a think piece.
Right.
Which is
Yeah.
another thing niggas need to need to.
This ain't no video essay.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, a
We
video-
trying to figure it out.
If a nigga with a video essay got a bunch of shit wrong, that's an issue for
That's
real.
a problem.
Real issue.
That's a real
Because you've had
problem.
time
Yeah.
to really
The fuck?
sit down and
You edited this too.
You've
You've heard yourself
wrong information.
say it.
You ran it back and said, "That's it. Let me upload it."
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Monetization on and all
That's
that shit.
completely different from a nigga just shooting the shit and getting shit wrong. That's
Yeah.
completely different.
Yeah.
Like what? I piss on the toilet seat? Oh shit! I'm
Yeah,
not paying attention.
Right.
Yeah.
My bad, nigga. Yeah. So,
We shooting the piss.
was there anything else outside of this? I think that was. I mean, just for this Club Shay Shay thing.
So
yeah, nah, unless we, yeah.
there was a fucking crazy moment that happened at the end. Apparently, they finished the interview. Everything's well, good chemistry. It was great. Ah, nigga, it was amazing. You're great. Let's leave. And then the producer came in and was like, yo, nigga, we gotta turn this shit back on. There's 4 more questions we haven't asked. One of them being about Kendrick Lamar. Probably the biggest controversy Schulz had this year.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Shannon just forgot to ask the nigga. So
Yeah.
that, it's like, yo, cut the cameras back on, them fucking orange cubes in the back. And then they came back so he could actually talk about it. Do we have that timestamp here? Or like just that link in the notes?
I don't think so. I can check though.
I don't think it, like,
It's
do
just
y'all want to hear more Schulz and Kendrick?
Nah.
I think we did that, right?
Beat.
It's
Yeah,
done, right?
It's beat.
It's nothing else.
just one of those things.
Let's go over to this. Y'all want to go to this Royal Mall?
Rory
Who's that?
Easy. Hey man. Hey, real professionals, that's who they are.
Yeah, on the
niggas.
Royal Mall podcast, Maul apologized to Baby D, aka Demarius, for laughing at Drake's post of her on his burner account. Don't remember the name. Doesn't
Plot
matter.
twist.
Yeah,
Plot
plot
That's
twist
right.
with a lot of
But I
twists.
couldn't find the video, and I was
It might have came down.
I was trying to go to Plot Twist, which is Drake's alternate account.
She started beefing with some other TikToker,
Yeah.
and I will say I saw the other TikToker. I saw their back and forth. The other TikToker did fry her because.
Wait, was
Demarius-
that the one where, my bad, was that the
Yeah.
where she was a classy lady? And she was like,
Yes.
Demarius, you're talking about my looks, but that's not woman-like.
Yeah, bro.
That-
She cooked her.
Oh, hold on.
She cooked her.
We need that.
Yeah, she kind of cooked her because
I'ma try to find
Demarius went straight like this ugly ass bitch, like blah blah blah, and then the other chick came back with like a sturdy 3 minutes. no cursing, and then educated her at the end, talk about now you see how I didn't I didn't lose myself, and I kept my.
This is composure, bitch.
No, literally,
Get
bro. Literally, bro. She fried her on that one. I was like, damn, Demarius, she caught an L right there for sure. But that was one of the things. So one of the things that Drake posted on the burner account was Demarius pretty much hyping up Kendrick, but it was out of context. The part where she said it, she was like, but what about niggas saying that Drake is a culture vulture, blah, blah, blah. It was in context of her laying both sides of the argument out. But that's the only part that got posted on the page. And then later on TikTok, Demarius was like dancing to the new Drake shit. So he posted it like, look how these niggas switch up. Which, before we get to Maul even apologizing for his actions and leaving it alone.
And
what the fuck what is Drake doing? It's like the fact that this nigga has to stop, bro. I just think this is so bad. Like, this is so corny that he's even doing this.
What? Just kind of like
highlighting all the people who are back liking your music again.
Well,
after they were,
you gotta understand. Like, I don't think anybody's been through
Yeah.
what Drake did. Like, of course, there's like niggas starving in Africa, but
Right.
just in terms of like, yo, everybody hates me,
and it joking about somebody
that's
being
different.
a joke.
I guess so.
Everybody, dog. Like,
and it's not hate,
one
dog.
or two. Everybody, somebody can hit everybody
really
in
is
the industry.
everybody. It is
like
everybody,
the
yeah.
music was like, fuck me.
And it's
But
because everybody was putting the whole PDF thing on him, which is like, or not putting it on him, but laughing at the fact
It pretty much
that
hyping
that's
it up.
even connected to his name.
Right.
So you're allowed to be a little bit mad, but is
After
this
you dapped
this
up
the
all
woman
these
you
niggas
saw,
too.
right? This video.
This is her.
So I mean,
Yeah,
if
and
y'all
it's-
want to, we can listen to a little bit of it. I forgot what
'Cause this is-
Demarius said to her.
She was saying she's ugly.
I forgot what Demarius said to her, but I
Demarius
think
was-
she plays it too.
I think she does. Yeah. We'll just watch it. This chick fried her.
Now, being that you run a TikTok stand page that's dedicated to a man that wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire, I wouldn't expect you to know this. But my job as a producer and a mic on an entertainment podcast is to garner conversation from clips, which is why you're stitching something that I said a year ago without context.
Drake is addressing Drake's culture vulture ways and the way that he steals from the fucking culture.
What did he?
Who's calling that? Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Who's
Girl, go sit down. What are you doing? Ugh. Go back over there with that boom bop bing bam. Go back with him.
Something about her foundation shade and the fact that she flat ironed her bundles on 25 degrees that really chapped my ass. And being that I'm sitting here on my couch rubbing my feet together like a moon cricket, today I have time. Damn, I'm good at my job. I should ask for a raise. You probably shouldn't have put me in that corner while having your face in the screen, because it actually made you look worse than you already made yourself look when you mixed Shade Despicable Me and Shade Ghastly Ghost and painted it on your face.
Demarius. Careful. Your insecurities are showing. Now, I would respond directly to you, but seeing how you blocked me, I can't. Anywho, that response was a choice. A very long-winded foundation shade obsessed choice nonetheless, but it was a choice. I, on the other hand, am going to choose differently. See, here's the thing. I don't do the whole tearing black women down over looks thing. That's just not my ministry. You won't catch me in the trenches of insecurity, swinging at edges and undertones like it's a boxing match. Unlike you, I don't need to attack someone's appearance to check them, boo. I can do it with the truth alone. You went straight to the makeup aisle instead of the facts, and that tells me everything I need to know about you. Speaking of truth, you said you create conversation garnering content, right? So basically, you say things you don't even believe just to keep the lights on? So you're clip farming? Ugh, that's embarrassing. Imagine selling your integrity for a check and then bragging about it on the internet. Couldn't be me,
Pause
boo.
real quick.
Meanwhile,
Okay, I'm not riding with her on that point. But it's flowing. It's flowing.
What don't you like
Wait,
about
what
that
you
point?
don't like about it?
She's pretty much making it seem like her opinion is not hers at all. And she's like, oh, so what you're saying is that you literally only say things that garner conversation. None of this is really you. You're selling your integrity as a human by not giving us what you really think.
She took
your
what
only
Demarius
clip.
said for face value, but she
Yeah.
didn't like go outside.
Right.
Like she didn't.
Right,
She
which-
wasn't reaching that much
It fits, it works because of what Demarius said.
because of what she said.
I just wanted to make sure I'm not subscribing to that thought process though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because Demarius
Because
isn't
you
that,
want to do it too.
Yeah.
I gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it real. I got to.
So can watch us.
Yeah, I like what's happening right now.
Yeah.
It's flowing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't subscribe to that section though. The first section, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. She ain't even took a sip of the wine yet.
She was good. But did y'all want to watch the next 30 seconds, or you want to go straight to the apology?
We have to because
we did start. Did we do this? This is all Demarius, Royal Mall. We're here, baby. Let's get it.
Right, like you
going on this?
Yeah, fuck it.
Okay.
We want to be here. Let's fuck it. We're here.
All right.
Wow, I say what I actually think. And the lights, well, they stay on just fine. I mean, it must be exhausting, huh? Waking up every day and thinking, what outrageous thing can I pretend to believe so that I can afford my Wi-Fi today? My opinions, on the other hand, are fully funded and no performance necessary. And despite what you might think, I'm not out here making content to be noticed by a man. Imagine going through life doing everything for the male gaze. That's GAZE, in case you needed help with that. As a woman with her own mind, I don't have to do that, boo. Meanwhile, you just admitted that you have to. You sit in a studio full of men and say whatever they tell you to just so you can collect a check. I agree, girl. You do need a raise. A raise in character, a raise in morals, a raise in integrity, a raise in values. But you know what? Keep it up. Play your role. Just don't get mad when people call you out for reading a script instead of having a backbone. So yeah, call me a ghastly ghost if you want. I'd rather be a ghastly ghost than a cowardly lion, shaking in my boots saying whatever pays the most, but too afraid to stand on it, which is why you blocked me. See how I checked you and didn't have to say anything about your looks?
No,
very ladylike, very demure.
Oh shit! I thought that was. But even her saying about the backbone, like when Maul was saying look, I apologize, and Demarius, she handled it pretty well.
She didn't accept it.
She didn't. She handled it well as far as okay. It was very passive, which I think was the best approach. Mm-hmm. But it's also the apology. The apology was so fake that I expected her to be a little bit more fuck you, Maul. I'm done today, but I'm coming back next week.
Yeah, I mean that whole apology, it looked disgusting.
It was a little trash.
Pretty much once she asked, do you feel sorry? No, I don't.
Well,
it was where are we?
Let's just listen
you
to
know
it.
what I'm saying? Because now it's goddamn, you should have at least said yes. You know what I mean?
And that helps them all.
That would have helped a little bit. All right, so now
Roy didn't help him practice.
What was that young lady's name?
Demure. Let's just call
Porsha.
it Demure.
OVO Porsha.
OVO Porsha. So yeah, there's always there's also these underlying fan base.
Yeah, and I do want to, before you move to the next point, I do want to say people do convolute that a lot, where it's just because you title something away or because you push something in a certain way that you're not presenting your own real opinion. Yeah, that is something that I've noticed where it's easier for you to believe it's not a real opinion instead of understanding
how it's packaged.
Right, instead of understanding that there's a person behind here who's meticulously packaging something a certain way because they want you to look at it first. Once you look at it and you typically watch the whole thing, you can understand a full point of view way more than how it's packaged to you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's completely different if somebody says I don't like something or I hate something with zero explanation.
Yeah.
That's completely different from I really hate this shit and these are 4 points on why I just don't like that shit.
Yeah.
That's completely different from I don't fuck with that shit because I don't fuck with it.
Unless you're talking about Big Sean and it's fuck him. You don't got to explain shit. It's just Big Sean. Fuck him.
Oh my God.
Of course he's trash.
Yeah, all I want to say is there's a world where both things are true.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because clickbait is the only part that gets talked about, but there's a bunch of ways that niggas baiting titles. You ever seen those videos where it was this found you at the right time and it's some kind of self-help it's baiting you in the title as well. Yeah. It's just the clickbait ones piss people off.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of religious ads.
The religious
ads,
App
Store ads. I'm I didn't even know there was.
They're kind of predatory.
I'm yo, this is why do I feel like I'm seeing sin.
Stop right here. Jesus wanted you to hear this message.
Yeah.
It's nigga, what?
It'd be too much. One time it was Mark Wahlberg. I was what the fuck?
Yeah, it'd be predatory.
This nigga about to read me a prayer.
Hey, you want to pray with me real quick?
Yeah. I was sure, Mark.
And it's real Mark Wahlberg.
It's the real Mark Wahlberg.
Boston, where he's from.
Oh,
hey, want to pray with me real quick?
Those are predatory.
Yeah.
Those are predatory for sure.
I love Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, right.
I'll pray with you.
Not too fond of black people, but we love the Lord.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But
all right, so then we'll transition over to
Are we about to watch him laugh at her, or is this the apology?
I think.
It's 5 minutes. I'm definitely going to trim out if we're going to end up watching all 5 minutes. I'm going to chop shit down.
I know
anyway.
a minute and 30 is all we need, but it still gets good.
Gotcha.
After.
Okay. Yeah, because the extended version of it, @𝔓𝔦𝔑,
Yeah.
the extended version of it, it does get it just falls apart and unravels.
Yeah.
But we do just need at least the first minute and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, Baby D, while we're here, I do want to apologize last week because you were upset at me because I laughed at a post, and I didn't want you to think that I was laughing at you. I was laughing at the post because we had just laughed about the post. So I don't want you to think that it's not love. It's always love from me to you. I love you and I support you. I just thought that the post was funny because we said that it was going to end up being a post. Well, Rory said it was going to end up being a post. So I want to apologize publicly.
Do you feel like you did something wrong?
No, I don't feel like I told him.
So then why are you apologizing?
Because you felt like I did something wrong.
I told you that?
Well, your energy spoke to me.
Damn, my energy spoke to you?
Yeah, I'm an energy reader.
It's his love language.
Yeah, I'm an energy reader. I read energy well. I read energy. So, you know, they brought it to my attention. Me and Rory spoke about it. And I was like, but I didn't do anything wrong. Like, I have that thing in me. I know when I'm doing something. I think any healthy mental person knows when they're doing something wrong. At no point did I think what I did was wrong. So when me and Rory spoke about it, I was like, yo, but what did I laughed. I got laughed at. Nobody got laughed at in 2024 more than me. Nobody. I was laughed at more than anybody on the planet Earth last year.
I ain't laugh at you though.
What?
I laughed at, hold on, wait. I laughed at you to your face. I laughed at you to your face. I wouldn't
But
go
I
on
couldn't
nobody.
laugh at you to your face because we weren't together when that happened.
But you had already laughed. Pooh, you had already laughed at me to my face about it. We had already had that conversation.
And then when it made a post, when the post was made, which Rory said it probably was going to end up being a post, I was laughing at that. Like, so it was just all, I thought we were all laughing together.
I have a question.
Okay.
If when niggas was saying disrespectful shit about you and making fun of you on the internet, if I laughed, if I had hashtag DJ Head, if I had retweeted that and laughed, would I have a job?
Yeah.
So good.
Okay. This has been another episode of
You've laughed at me on the internet before.
No, I have not. Not when it came to all that shit. People calling you a dick rider and all that shit. No,
but nobody. But that's where I think we was on a different page because I didn't think that post was disrespectful. Nobody said nothing disrespectful about you.
I want to hear 30 more seconds
at the
because
you know,
she gets to a point, and we're about to reach that point probably. She makes a great point. She was like, if I would have did what you did, would I still have a job?
I didn't like that kept coming up. Is that the dynamic over there? Does it feel like if I say the wrong thing, I can get fired?
Well,
I didn't like that she kept bringing that up, which just
it alludes to that.
It alludes to that. It just makes it feel like, damn. I would hope that's not the energy there. You know what I mean?
Maybe that, but it's just like
at least the energy.
Maul,
Maul's
you're
giving off.
sensitive,
right? Yeah, right.
Maybe
right.
she's also saying like, Maul, you're a sensitive guy. Like I probably wouldn't have a job if I did what you did.
You would get rid of me just like you got rid of the Indian nigga.
Right.
And I guess, was that lady right? Does Demarius have a backbone? I guess she does if she said that.
No.
That's not enough.
It's like from right here, she's not even like, and this is just a clip, but she's not even going, I'm upset.
But that's why I was saying, like, it's, but she is though, passively though.
But passively.
Exactly.
You passively do stuff and you don't got a spine.
Yeah, but
like that. Passive does not equal spine.
Like, but not in this sense where this is passive.
And this is just a clip, but like,
this is passive, but you can feel it. You can feel it. But let's just hear like 20 more seconds because I think we're about to run into that part.
The wish-washy switch side and because
she's already said it
like
once.
that energy, but it wasn't like, oh, this fucking girl's a fucking get her out of here. She's a fucking clit rider.
Even after the second post, you still didn't feel that way.
What was the second post?
I got posted again.
Did you?
Yes, I did. Another out of context clip.
Oh yeah, I laughed at that, but I didn't laugh on the post though. Because that wasn't that. It was like, oh, it's just another post. But the first post I laughed at because we had just spoke about that being a post. But it wasn't like I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at the post. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I didn't feel like I did nothing wrong. But because you felt like I did something wrong, I have to apologize and let you know that it wasn't a personal laughing at Demarius thing. It was just laughing at that becoming a post. That's all that was. Got it? Do you accept my apology?
Sure.
No. We ain't doing sure. Do you, Demarius?
She gave you an answer.
Accept
Like
my
I
apology.
don't know what you want from me.
I'm asking you, do you accept my apology?
I don't know
want
why
nothing.
you're. I don't know. We have been in this office how many times since that happened?
Once.
And how many hours? No, how many hours?
That was only one time
that we were off camera that you could have did this apology. That's number one. Number two, you're not sorry.
I saw you one time since that happened.
You're not sorry because you don't think that you.
I didn't
did
say
anything
sorry.
wrong.
I said I apologize.
Pause.
It's different.
This is where shit gets crazy.
That's good enough. But y'all get the point. I
Yeah.
thought this was beautiful. You know what I mean? Because it shows.
I do wish she stood on, like, instead of saying sure, just no, I don't accept your apology.
They're both wrong. Somehow.
She's putting Maul in a weird position.
Yeah.
Because, like, Maul was wondering, like, should I be apologizing? Like, I genuinely wasn't trying to hurt your feelings. And then, like, in relationships, like friends and girlfriends and all that shit, like, what you tried to do doesn't matter as opposed to how they felt about what you did.
Yeah.
But she's not even being honest about how she felt.
Yeah.
Like, she's not just coming out and being like,
doing it now.
if she was like, you know what, I get it, but let me be honest, that shit upset me. And you
Well-
laughed at it. Then it's more like, okay, I get what you're saying. Like, you're saying that you're upset it embarrassed you. I can apologize for that. I didn't want to embarrass you.
Let's just say, she said, because like she said, how long have we been in the office together for you to do this? So let's just say she said something to that, like, what the fuck was that? What's up with these laughing emojis? You know what I mean? Like, that kind of makes Maul like a fucked up person. You know what I mean? Especially when everything is with intention. If you're only apologizing to do the other person a favor because you're so holy, nigga, like you're fucking shit. Jesus, nigga, you're doing her a favor by apologizing,
His
which is what
explanation-
he was trying to do by saying got it, which is a very weird, like, I don't know if that's passive or just regular aggressive. Like, got it?
His explanation made him more disingenuous.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
The more he talked, the worse it got.
The worse it got.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
if he was just saying initially that I was laughing at the fact that we said this would happen and it happened, then that I can understand. Like, I laughed at that and I'm sorry that I did it in that way. Like, maybe I should have done it that way.
He means what he's
but that's
saying.
funny.
It made it look
a little funny. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I was
And-
doing. My fault. Like, that's different. But his explanation made him look real and disingenuous.
You laugh at your friends all the time.
Yeah,
like,
for
we
sure.
come in
Right.
here
For
and
sure.
make fun of each other.
Every
We
day.
don't know what joke that we made might have actually hurt somebody.
Right.
Because, like, niggas in this room is like, we're not going to be like, that hurt my feelings. We're just going to go home and be like, fuck, nigga. And then forget about it.
Got something for this nigga
And not
next
take
week.
it personal.
Next.
I got something for this nigga
no,
I got something for this nigga.
But Demarius didn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't, like, self-regulate it and get it out,
Compartmentalize.
if you can't
something to
compartmentalize it and it's like, is that big of an issue to where it really bothered you, then go to the person and be like, hey, that was a little too much.
But also,
that's a boundary.
But also, how should we also? I don't
She
know.
was right
man.
about that
Maul
in
should
person
also
shit.
know his people. Like
she was definitely right.
She was
about
right
that.
about that in person shit.
She
You've
was
seen me
definitely
3
right.
times
You've
already.
seen me
and
like 3 times.
We haven't had this discussion, but now you want to automatically bring it up on this live rock podcast.
And
like, you're
I don't
not
think-
genuine about this apology.
And
Because
never
Maul-
clowned you publicly.
Yeah.
But I get what Maul's saying because, like,
you can do both.
He didn't try to do anything wrong, but what he did still hurt her, and that's the weird gray area in relationships to where it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, she was hurt.
Yeah, but he's not. But don't play like you want to apologize to me when you had multiple chances to. So it's like,
wait, that's not wrong. What he did though?
Yeah, like you played like you want to apologize to me.
So the video that we first reacted to, Drake reposted that, and Maul laughed. And he also did some other stuff, but that was the main thing.
I
So
think
just
it was-
imagine, right?
It was that one,
just,
and it was also the one where it was her shitting on Kendrick.
Just imagine.
And then compiled with her dancing to
the
Drake.
new shit.
Yeah.
I laughed, like, let's just say, I'm not even going to create a hypothetical. That would be a lot. But we're in that situation, and I laugh at you. You get what I'm saying? That would be kind of strange.
I don't know.
Especially if the first time I knew you thought it was funny. Well, the thing that also makes it
continue
different.
what you was about to say.
Like
When
the
first time you knew, you thought I knew it was funny was that.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
not
yeah.
me like being in
if
front of you like, nigga, this is kind of, I don't know.
Right.
Like,
At least I can expect you to drop the laughing emojis because I saw you giggling or laughing already.
Well, they said that though. She said that you laughed at me in my face already.
And then also, this is also I think the other big thing before the Roy and Maul fans want to fucking crucify us is this is also Drake doing this. In the clip that he posted, in particular with the whole shitting on Drake about he's a culture vulture, it was 100, 200% out of context.
This is all Drake's fault.
And the fact that Maul, being his homie, knows that it was there for the conversation, knows it was out of context, and then laughing at it, it's like you're not gonna. It's really like you're not gonna get your homie. You know what I'm saying?
Which is even deeper.
That's
like
really,
a homie
yeah.
that he's my homie, but you barely kind of know the nigga. So it's like, you know, we joke on each other, but there's a boundary level.
Right. Niggas out on the outside could be doing that. Like, what the fuck?
And Maul, it's not up for Maul to be like, Drake, yo, you gotta delete this. No, Maul has no. He can't say nothing to Drake.
All Maul had to say was at the next show was like I'm gonna have to talk to Drake. Like, let him come on, bro. You know that's out of context. Like, that's not even representing my co-host.
Yeah.
Like, you can check your homie, respectfully. Like, that's not even disrespectful. It's like Drake put. I don't know why he posted it. You're completely out of context.
If
like
Maul,
literally, like that's all he had to say.
Yeah, if Maul cared to do that, because it's like it seems like the laughing emojis was just like him laying in bed, but niggas like, oh fuck it. It wasn't a serious.
Right. The fact that you didn't.
I don't think he was malicious either. I agree with that.
Yeah, but
he meant what he said. He just worded it backwards. Like I felt like that was the problem with this apology. He said everything backwards, and it just came. It just regressed. You feel me?
Yeah.
It was just
I
like
think he meant what he said. He just didn't actually mean to apologize, and he was trying to apologize because he thought that's what he's supposed to do, not because he wanted to.
I also don't think that's bad necessarily. I did mention that as a point, but you can do that. You can do that. You just have to say it in a certain way that's not like you're trying to.
You don't think that's
help
weak?
the person, like without them knowing.
You don't think that's weak to like just do it because this is what people want or what I think I should do?
No, it's
Lauren, it's not what I feel I should do for real.
Lauren, if I'm
asking
don't
a question.
think that
Don't
I
come at me.
wronged you, but you feel wronged, you're my friend. So I would still apologize.
But why wouldn't you say that to me first in person? Is not like why won't you just holler at me first?
Oh well, that's different.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Because this is also the third
time they've seen each other. Why don't you just holler at me first, and then you can bring it to the air, sure. But why don't you just holler at me? Hey, yo, I really didn't mean that, my nigga. Like, I just want you to know that. You know, say, hey, don't worry, I cleared up on the air, nigga. Like, whatever the fuck. Okay, cool. You don't got to do that, but that's cool.
Yeah.
So it's not genuine at that point.
It's just all how you say it, man. Like he could have easily said, "I look, Demarius, I promise you, I had no care in the world for that shit, but I did think it was funny though." You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry. Like that's all. That's perfect.
Because when we laugh at our friends, it's not always in good spirits.
Well, honestly, most of the time it is in good spirits.
No,
and that's the thing.
But like bad spirits can be good spirits. Like you slipping and busting your ass is hilarious. You could have got hurt.
Yeah.
But it's like it's still funny.
Intention. The intention.
You know
the start
what I mean?
places
Like,
for good intention.
We laughed at your misfortune.
Yeah.
It's just we didn't laugh at you getting AIDS.
Exactly.
Which is, that hurts a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more sensitive.
It's a little bit more like, damn, you gonna laugh at my AIDS, dog?
Yeah, nah.
That's crazy. At least give me like a couple months.
Yeah, you falling in front of me hurts me more than you just having AIDS because I don't have to do nothing about that.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's it.
Well, wait. Let's not know that.
No, we ended on that. That's the last word.
Let's see. I don't know. I'm pretty happy. I mean, I feel like that was a pretty strong show. I feel like we should just roll into office hours.
Yep.
Yeah, office hours. Tell us what it is.
Man, office hours, partner in the end of the show. We get to answer y'all questions, man. You know what I'm talking about. Get to know each other a little bit better. You know what I mean? Granted, there hasn't been that many new office hours from like new people, but
I'm not.
Regardless, I don't even care.
Yeah.
If it's new people.
Yeah.
I like the same amount. I like the same.
I'm not gonna
people.
lie. Even though the office hours isn't rolling heavy like it was at a certain point, I kind of like it because
I love how hit or miss it is.
I do too. I'm enjoying how miss it is right now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I just want to focus on making the show overall better anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's okay that there's only 2 or 3. That's actually perfect.
Hey, that's perfect.
We have things that we need.
We don't
to
have to lie and say this is all we got.
Yeah,
This is
right,
all we
right,
got.
right.
There's some people in the comments that prefer that shit anyway.
Yeah, I think most people do.
Like, yo,
okay.
office hours cool. Just keep it a little bit more.
Just trim that bitch down.
Make it neat.
Yeah.
But we have fans and they have things to say. And wouldn't say fans, but supporters. Y'all know the scene. Love y'all niggas. But first one is Leak.
Niggas who don't get haircuts.
Oh, you want to watch the video?
First up to the plate.
Great brother.
Good brother. Looks like he has a onesie on right now.
I thought it was like a boxing robe. It just, or maybe that's just my mind right now.
Maybe it's one of those anime.
That's just all I'm thinking. It's on my mind. It's on my mind, coach.
All right, let's go.
Don't forget.
Gang, hashtag office hours. All right. So I left comments in y'all questions. I know it's been a minute. What's good? Still top classmate, nigga. Most of y'all niggas is. All right, let me stop. So I left office hours asking about who has more value, the grifters and the scammers and all the niggas that people, publicists, and fucking media personalities will put on their shows for whatever reason, or the dumb fans that follow these niggas that'll pay for anything that they do. They'll keep sending Dr. Umar money and all this shit. Because a contradiction Joe Budden got, he doesn't like Andrew Schulz because he's racist or appearing racist or says stuff that can be deemed as racist. But Dr. Umar is literally scamming niggas, but he want to bring him up to the show. For what reason? I don't know. And then, I mean, we ain't going to talk about Ian Dunlap and EYL niggas because we already know them niggas is grifters. Come on. Like, I don't understand. Which one has the most value? The fans that'll pay for stupid shit or the stupid niggas that'll keep saying stupid shit?
Who has more value? Probably the people that pay for things.
Yeah, I thought this was a really good question though, but it was like probably the people opening their wallets have the highest value
because they have like
but it
purchasing
is
power.
but like niggas do be just like reaching out to these bullshit ass niggas because they bring views off the bullshit. I don't know. It is a little weird too.
But there is a risk associated with the bullshit niggas.
There is,
because sometimes, like Dr. Umar Johnson is safe. Like he's smart enough to not say anything that'll get everybody thrown in jail, YouTube jail. But a nigga like Charleston White,
maybe,
or like just Orlando Brown, somebody radical.
Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, they can come and say some shit to like put you in some heat. And like, damn, I gotta.
Yeah,
my
nah.
YouTube rep.
Put you in a tricky situation.
Are those back-to-back timestamps niggas have been leaving?
Yeah, this is MD. This is leak.
It's all leak. He trying to make up for lost watch time.
Yo, that one go up to the top, that one timestamp right there, and all they put was a timestamp at LOL. Nigga, that shit's funny. Yeah,
What happened?
We were talking about some gay shit, but it was funny because niggas was like, yeah, it was funny. Just hit it real quick. That shit was funny.
Oh God.
I'm just gonna play it. Well, I'll put it up.
just play it. Yeah.
We was talking about black stuff.
Make you my bitch.
You are not gonna make nobody. What are you talking about?
Well, guys, we gotta be careful.
Lauren, if that's true, I want a promise ring and it better look sexy, nigga.
Right, sure, I'll put it on your ring after I.
You better, nigga. You better.
Yeah. He said, I want the
entrance in your balls.
Nigga, that shit was unhinged.
What you say about the
I was doing Mike Tyson. I was doing the
But in
Mike
the
Tyson
beginning,
thing.
we were joking. He was joking about the promise ring in the beginning.
Yeah. And that was, you got to subscribe to the
I'll fuck you till
Patreon.
you love me, bitch.
I want your essence, nigga. You sickness and health.
But then it was also funny because right at that timestamp, the nigga was like, we were talking about some black shit, right? Just vague as fuck. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Oh man, I hope nobody important clicked on that timestamp. Like some head of Warner Music, some sponsor. Whoa, what the fuck is going on?
You love me, bitch.
I thought they were talking about black stuff.
Does this office hours have a timestamp or something?
No, I was just looking to see if there's any like late ones that came in after just now.
I'll look
Okay.
in the hidden.
Okay,
Because they're not going to be on the main video.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't think there is. I think it's this
It's
one and the
just this
second
one,
one.
yeah.
Oh, I got an audio too. Sorry. Oh man, thank God we were going through that. Somebody sent me an audio and I can't remember what page it's on, but I'll figure it out by then.
You want to read this one?
Well,
Yeah, go ahead,
I'll
go through
read
this one while I look for that audio.
Brandon Evil, shout out to you, nigga. Hashtag office hours. Is Tone really that nice? Oops.
He chopped and screwed that shit.
Yeah, I like that.
Stink meter ass.
Right, stink meter. Stink meter. That's what because I was thinking Uncle Rush's, but it's stink meter. Yeah.
Ah, man, they like that. I like the video. You like. I'm not asking. I'm sorry. Is Tone really that nice at hoops? I'm not asking for his huddle tape or anything. But what's his player comp? How would y'all have fared in the JBP geriatric pickup game? Shout to Nola again.
That's really a great question.
Love New
How
Orleans,
we would have fared
nigga.
in that game.
Washed them niggas.
We would have washed
We
them.
would have washed them. Hurt. They would have. Yeah, they would have been hurt.
No, we could have played hurt and been all right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, nah. I could have played without.
I wonder how much Joe weighs. I
He's
would have
like-
to.
It
I
don't
would have
matter.
to- I think I would have to guard him.
He like
but
260.
He's definitely playing dirty as fuck the whole time. That's all he plays is dirty.
Wait, you said Joe Budden's 260?
He like 250, 260, something like that.
He's not light. Yeah, he definitely looks 250 at least.
He like 250.
He's one of the bad 250s. He's
Yeah,
not a
yeah,
good
yeah,
250.
yeah. He's not like
In his
Yeah.
prime, he should really be like 190,
Yeah.
180. He shouldn't really be there, but
Should be too flat.
too flat.
That should he should be too flat.
right.
Too flat.
Yeah.
But
Too
nah,
flat.
we would have destroyed them niggas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nah.
because the way some of them were falling, like I don't even think the way Ish fell.
That shit was crazy.
You
I
fall
fall-
younger than that.
I fall, but it's younger than that.
Yeah,
For
it's
sure.
younger than that.
Yeah. My
You still
falls-
have a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can pop back up. That nigga was limping.
That
all
nigga's
type of shit.
leg
Yeah.
literally gave out on the drive.
It did. Yeah. Nobody touched him. His leg just said, "We can't do that no more."
It's made me aware of how like quick it can happen to you. As a man, it can happen to you
I don't think
quick.
he knew that was going to happen to him.
No man thinks that.
That's true.
Because a part of being successful is being healthy, so you can use your success and
So
you know your
can enjoy your
success.
success
You know what?
for as long as
You
possible.
feel me?
Yeah.
I don't know if I asked the old dude this or I heard somebody talking about it where there was like asking the old dude like what was the thing he regrets the most about being old or he doesn't like about being old. He was like people forget that you're dangerous.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, as like I talked to a dude. He told me that he was like it was just some random dude.
He
I was
wasn't dangerous.
Nah, it was like some vet nigga, some like old vet nigga I was chopping it up with, some shit like that. And he was just like, people forget that you're dangerous.
Girls say
That
the
is
same
true.
thing in like aggressive sports and
But
shit.
it is true though. Like, think about it. Like, we in the South. I carry. Okay, I'll pull it if I have to. I'll squeeze it if I have to.
Yeah.
But like, as an old nigga, 70 years old, 60, a 25-year-old, like tries to fight me, I'm killing this nigga. Like, quickly, bro. Like, I can't tussle with you, bro. Like, when you're old, nigga.
You're not going Lawrence Fishburne him?
Hell no. You're going to the gun immediately.
The fuck?
You're going to the gun. You might go to the gun when a nigga raises his voice too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, depending on how old you are and how young they are.
Let me stop this baby from
When
crying.
you know, like, if you trip and fall, that can send you to the hospital. You can't tussle. You can't fight shit.
But that's the thing, man. You want to be the David Goggins. Oh, he's not that old, but you want to be that.
He's young.
You want to be a healthy 70-year-old, like the ones that can
Man.
move and stretch and fucking
Every time
break
I go,
down things.
every time I go to the gun range,
Arnold's fucked up.
no questions asked. There's an old nigga who looks like he can barely lift that pistol, but he's in there getting them rounds in. I swear to God, every time I go, it's an old white man in there with overalls, real country old white dude, and he's like, everything is slow.
Oh, no.
He making
His
sure
whole house would have been
he's
robbed.
making sure. Yeah, like he's making. But I mean, if he's just waiting in his room, he's gonna be standing right in front of the door.
You seen the video? You seen the video of that old dude on YouTube?
He's camping. You know what I'm saying? But
Y'all seen that old dude outside his car shooting back on YouTube? That old nigga?
Them old niggas be shooting,
Yeah.
bro. Them old niggas. That's why they dangerous. Them old niggas shoot. They don't
I
tussle
feel
with
like
nothing.
I could run from an old dude shooting that. What is it,
the
Friday?
bullet strap
What is it,
look the
Friday
same.
when Mike Epps played the nigga with the shotgun and there was
Oh,
chasing
yeah,
him?
yeah,
I felt like that would happen where he's just barely missing me, like, oh shit.
That's scary.
He
though.
hit your braid.
Yeah, hit my brain, just pass my shit, get fucked up.
But to answer your question, brother, Tone is nasty.
Yeah, Tone
is good.
Tone is good.
Tone is good.
Is player comp like stats? Like,
Yeah, like not like
Nah,
who? Like
who I
who would you
play-
compare him?
I
with?
have four.
Oh, okay.
It depends on how I'm playing.
I don't know.
It depends on how I'm playing.
Your favorite play style then?
Let me just tell you some of the names I've heard throughout my career.
Okay, yeah. That's
Okay.
That's
So early on, AI.
Nah.
Hey, just
you
let him
didn't
talk.
know me then,
Go
so
ahead,
you
go
should
ahead,
keep talking.
go ahead.
All right, podcast about
The
podcast.
shark.
Go ahead.
But yeah, early on AI, I heard like KD, DeMar DeRozan, because that's when I was shooting a lot of like mid range and all that shit. And then Jason Tatum. It depends on what I'm doing for real. I've heard James Harden, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant.
I wouldn't
most
give you
consistent.
James. You're closer to KD.
Now. Probably now. Yeah.
Maybe DeMar.
DeMar don't loose. He
Lil
don't.
DeMar.
He don't lace his sneakers. I just saw that clip on Jeff.
I don't know if I want to. You're tall, but you're shifty. I don't want to give you a Jamal Crawford because you're not there with handles, but you're good.
It depends. I could be.
You're pretty average though, honestly. Like if we just look at the full scope, you're not that great. You're kind of trash.
You don't believe what you're saying. I was like, you're not talking to me.
No, you're good, but you're good. No. You're good, but NBA player comp, I don't know. Maybe
I just have no idea.
Sometimes because you're shifty, but you do a power dribble a lot. Like I'm trying to think of players who have like a nice power dribble, but like in order to get somebody off balance, like that's a normal thing, I guess. But
Tone could be
all guards do a punch.
Yeah,
dribble.
but it's like the punch dribble, shutter step, like trying to get you moved, and it's very signature for you.
It depends on what I'm doing. Like I can do a couple different things. It just depends on what. But with this team that we have in Menace, it's gonna be on some like some Lucas shit. Not like shooting the ball all the time, but
how does Brandon Jennings play?
Shit. I'm like Groove, nigga.
Brandon Jennings is faster than me.
He's not in the league anymore, though, is he?
Nah.
No, but I was just trying to think.
Well, I mean, all of these niggas are faster than me, but like Brandon Jennings is one of them niggas to wear like and then run.
And
like, I'll play with you in
a little bit, and then go.
Yeah, nah. Shit, my huddle footage probably out there somewhere, nigga. I had a huddle account. Might have to look that shit up.
Yeah,
what is a huddle account?
For youth sports. So like if you're in high school, you like it's a profile where college coaches. It's an organized place where college coaches can go see like stats, tape, with your ranks, and like all that shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm not tapped into basketball.
Niggas ain't athletic. I know huddles.
But we got one audio. It's from Roscoe.
Yep. It's Roscoe. I got an office hours for y'all. At what age gap and like what ages do y'all think it starts making a difference in a fight? Say like a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old. Do y'all think that's a fair fight? Or do you think like an 18-year-old and a 21-year-old is more fair than a 16-year-old and a 14? Because say like you take my age right now, I'm 29. I'm sure there's probably like an athletic high schooler that might be able to beat my ass. You know what I mean? Like, just turning 17, but he's like a, you know what I'm saying, 5-star athlete. But I'm 29. You know what I mean? So like what age gap do y'all think it starts making a difference in the fight?
I think it only matters.
It's not the age
before
gap.
18. Like before 18, age gap can play a part. But after that shit, niggas weight class.
14 and 16 was real like iffy because like, did they hit puberty yet? Like, has a nigga hit puberty and then all of a sudden got facial hair and just like adult muscles, or
everybody
is he still on the smaller side at 16?
Right,
you know what I mean? Or did the 14-year-old hit it early? And that nigga's like swole up, and he's at his.
He got giantism.
He's at his 6'4" height that he's gonna be for the rest of his life and whatever. So I think that one is kind of. That was kind of iffy because that's like on some can a freshman whoop a senior's ass.
That's really what it boils down to. I think it might be 3 years.
3 years?
3 years different, but it's only below 18 because after 18, like shit just evens out.
But then they got the thing with old nigga strength, you know, like those 40, 50, 60-year-old niggas where they're just these niggas are different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it comes to a certain point too where like as you age, certain things don't affect you the same way. So like you have more like the mindset changes how you look at fighting this younger nigga, no matter how more athletic he may be or more what it is. It's like there's a certain thing about this is like I just know more about life, nigga. I could do this.
Yeah.
That's why he thinks he's a better fighter.
I've had more fights.
I've had more like
That's where this comes from.
I think that I have a better chance at this because I've had more fights. Unless you've just been a nigga who fought all your life coming up to this point, I've probably had more fights. I've probably taken more punches. I've probably thrown more punches. I'm probably in a better position to handle a real situation with you.
You know when niggas say you say when niggas got like a glass chin, like you get knocked out easily. Isn't that like one of those things, kind of like a concussion? Like once you get your
vitamin deficiency.
Like once you're like prone to it or have your first one, like every other one can come a lot easier.
Oh, you get punchy.
Isn't that kind of how being knocked out is? It's
I've
like
heard that sentiment.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's sort of like cracking your knuckles, kind of shit.
right. Like once you start cracking it,
It
now
just
you can.
starts to happen.
It's just a thing that you can do
Yeah.
now.
Yo,
But
that
if
shit
you've never,
happened.
but if you've never been a person that gets knocked out, the odds are pretty low that you would get knocked out later in the future.
Just don't.
Yeah, just avoid that shit.
You want to avoid the first one at all costs because I think it's a domino effect after that.
Yeah.
It depends. Get knocked out, you might learn how to not get knocked out.
Yeah.
That too. But I remember one time in high school, I saw a fight and a nigga got knocked out. And it was like a known thing that like he gets knocked out pretty easily. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like he fought on like an average rate that we all fought. But a lot of the times his ended up with a knockout. And it wasn't because he was fighting these skilled niggas that just kept touching his chin. It was just like he just seemed to be more susceptible to it than other niggas it seemed
right.
Because I seen plenty of niggas take
Niggas
like
fighting
straight
sleepy as
10 chin shots, head whipping, they're still up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I have to use the bathroom.
Me too.
Like very bad. Like,
That was the last one too, I think though.
That's the last one.
Yeah,
You
that's the
have-
last one.
You have
Yeah,
enough
that's the last
to
one.
close us out?
Yep. Today has been good. Today has been great. Yeah, nah. Like I got like a wave.
Your voice changed, man. Let's get out of here.
I got a wave of sickness.
Get
J
Tone
Noblez.
Groove. Tone Groove.
AJ the Menace.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Half Mac. Oh yeah, white man on the
White man on the boards.
White man on the boards.
Jason over there.
Yeah, Florida Mac.
That's me.
Skidoosh.
And we out.